and then begin the conversation with our guest, and then we'll come back and also start our question as well. Veteran Smith. You are muted.
Okay. My name is Fred, Veteran Smith, no stranger when it comes to the media. Love to engage people, individuals that would be making differences in uplifting Liberia. I always love to ask questions to them. That's where I come from. And especially, I'm going to the southeastern region. People in Monrovia know my name, but this time I want to come back in the southeastern region because I believe Monrovia is not Liberia. So until we can be comfortable to go to all sector of the country, then the veteran will be happy. So that's where I come from. So there is another day, and we are privileged to get two individuals, Dr. Irize Mboto, who happens to be the president of the Grand Jita University, and Chief Dr. William D. Towa, chairman of the Board of Trustees of the University of Liberia. So I was thinking, I said, instead of giving by for these two unique individuals, why don't they put it into a question? So my question first to you, Dr. Irize Mboto, tell us your pathway. Did you dream one day to be head of a higher learning institution in Grand Jita? How that pathway? Tell us how you got to that pathway. That now you're president of Grand Jita University.
Thank you.
Tell us your pathway. Dr. Boto, for
Thank
you
you. Thank
first,
you. Yeah.
and then we'll follow.
Definitely, I had a dream of becoming a head of an institution, but I did not see it from the Grand Jita perspective. At the time when I was growing up, the missionary that reared me, they had a dream of building a Lutheran university at the time. So I was then earmarked as one of the upcoming young Lutheran to have headed that institution at the time. So it was one of the key reasons for which they sent me to school all over. But then, as I grew up, I started seeing things differently. Yes, and from the Grand Jita perspective, it was actually my predecessor who drew my attention. One day he visited the U.S. and then he specifically called me for us to have a conversation that I should think about Grand Jita one day. So in the presence of former president Thelma Collins, I laughed and he said, "Why?" He said, then I said, "I'm still young and I want to be in the U.S. for now." So then Thelma got involved. He said, "Oh, my man, my begin, being young is about having a broader vision for your country. Thelma doesn't like anybody downplaying a core when it comes to Grand Jita. So instead of having a different conversation, he got into it, started giving me the importance of looking at home. And then since then, he started pushing me every now and then. He and the late Queer. Yes, it was from that background I started studying about Grand Jita University. And today, here I am. Hello?
Oh, okay. Very short. I thought maybe you were going to elaborate on other position that you held that somehow prepare you for
Okay.
this job. Okay, that's
Oh,
why I
yeah.
was leading
Okay.
to.
Yes. As I said, looking at the Lutheran history that I brought in, I schooled in South Africa, where I taught at both the Lutheran Seminary and the University of Pretoria, where I graduated from. But then it was still leaning towards the vision that I would have headed the Lutheran proposed university in Liberia at the time. And then when I got involved with the Pretoria University, they started sending me around as one of the key person with the research department. So my first visit to Australia, I met a British professor, Professor Mark, who said, "Your presentation always looked different from that of the way we present." I said, "Why?" I asked him why. He said, "You always give me parables. And will you look at one day moving to the West?" So I then started asking myself how. It was through that I got an invitation with Virginia University to present, to lead the delegations from Pretoria University, and then gradually move to the U.S. based on the offer. Now, while in the U.S., I then started having open mind. I decided to look at other universities because Virginia University was not giving me a permanent position. They were kind of having this adjoint position that was not giving the kind of benefit I wanted. So I decided to move on. And in moving on, I have what they call this postdoctoral research position with San Francisco University. While they're now settling into kind of make it permanent, then I got a call that there is a vacancy now with Grand Juda University. So I should look at it, and I kind of lied on the bed and started asking myself, do you want to leave San Francisco University and then move to Grand Juda? You know, it took me, I wrestled with the thought for a little while, but then I started receiving calls. My man, you gotta go, you gotta go, you gotta go. And in the process, I just started my own business. It started picking up. I started what I call the American Equal Care, a kind of small group home. So putting everything aside and moving back home was something that I fought in mind for a little while, but I decided now that if people believe in you as a leader, you cannot see yourself. Nobody will wake up one morning and say, I'm a leader. Group of people will see certain trait of character or certain trait of leadership trait in you and point to you that you can lead. So not wanting to disappoint all the calls that I was receiving, I decided to go for it. And since I came, I can see the support from everyone who called on me at the time to take the position. And I'm happy that I'm back home. Grand Juda is our home. And I'm here tonight to repeat what I did May 7 in Kentucky. In the gathering of almost 2,000 Grand Judans, I knelt before my fellow Kingsmen that I'm asking all of you to rally around me. It was a tough call, a tough decision to take to come home, to leave everything in the West to be home. But with all of you, I know Grand Juda University can be second to none. On this medium tonight, I'm kneeling before you again that we need you. We need your support, your advice, and anything you think you can do to uplift this institution. An informed society is a developed society. A society will engineer, will build the bridges, will construct the houses we need. A society with nurses will have healthy population. A society with medical doctors, computer engineers, agriculturists will produce food. Yes, we need to elevate Grand Jide University, and I can't do it alone. It is with all of you. I think we can elevate Grand Jide University to second to none in the region. It's competition. If you go to Maryland right now, you have Tubman University. If you go to Nima right now, you have Nima University. If you go to Lofa, you have Lofa University. Yes, this Grand Jide University bears our heritage and it is ours. I'm asking all my kinsmen, compatriots across the globe tonight, please see reason. Let's do it together. Thank you.
Okay, Veteran Smith, before you come in,
Okay. Yeah.
Veteran Smith, before you come
Let's
in,
go to
Veteran Smith,
Chief.
before you come in,
Yeah.
please.
Yeah, I'm in.
We do have two guests on the platform, so
Yeah.
Dr. Boto, I appreciate your first approach the first time. You kept it very short and sweet. Let's keep it that way so that we can be able to get to all the panelists and with the two guests. So let's keep the explanation short and sweet because there are two guests we have on the platform, and there are about 5 panelists here. All right, go ahead, Veteran Smith.
Yeah. So let me go to similar question I put to President Boto. Let me
I don't
put
know
to
what you
you,
did,
Chief.
but I started hearing the audio, so I gotta
Chief.
exit and come back.
The same question, Chief Dr. William D. Towa. Tell us your path now that you are chairman of the board of trustees for Grand Jide University. How your path has? Is this what you thought one day you were going to be? Tell us your path to this prestigious position, chairman of the board of trustees of Grand Jide University.
I'm not hearing too.
We don't hear Dr. Towa?
You're muted, sir.
All right. Hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you, sir.
Yes.
Okay, beautiful. I am Chief Dr. William Dia Dian Toa. I earned my PhD in public policy and administration with emphasis in public management and leadership from the Walden University. I earned my master's from St. Mary's University in Minnesota, and my bachelor's in accounting from the University of Liberia. Now, I have worked in so many places, including Deputy Minister of Agriculture and Acting Minister of Agriculture in my young age of 28, 29, through to Deputy Minister of Post and Telecom, Director General of the National Food Assistance Agency, and Deputy Minister of Finance, Vice President of Housing Bank, in the U.S., serve as senior officer of the TCF Bank, and I came back to Liberia and I serve as managing director of National Housing Authority and member of the board of directors of the National Housing Authority, chairman of the board of directors for Forestry Development Authority, chairman of the board of directors for the Liberia Agriculture Bank, several positions. Then I served with ECOWAS as chief of budget and then chief of finance and administration at ECOWAS. And I took early retirement to return home recently. And I'm currently back in Liberia trying to help to strengthen institutions of learning as well as playing a role in good governance structure in the country. I returned home the past 2 years, 2 months ago. But it is a pleasure because my turf. My turf has been education. Anybody ask me for the past 40 years, 38 to 40 years, you have been in governance. What has been your greatest contribution to Liberia? I would say my greatest contribution to Liberia has been in human capital development. In fact, what we have today as the Grand Juda University began when I served as chairman for the board, chairman for the committee on education for Grand Juda. Now I laid the first cornerstone for the creation today, what we have as Grand Juda Community College, which metamorphosed to the Grand Juda University. So it is a pride that in my lifetime that the seed that we sowed together as Grand Judean, as Liberian, that I'm around to have that germinated into a full-fledged university that I'm now serving as chairman of the board of trustees. And so I support the young Liberian, Dr. Eric Butter, who is the president of the Grand Juda University, someone in whom I am well pleased and that I support to see a groundbreaking achievement in that part of Liberia. I'm very proud of him. And so I bring back home the sub-region of ECOWAS, coming back home with an early retirement. I'm at the age of 62, going to 63, until I turn 3 scores and 10, which is 70. I would like to produce the best, pioneering with all the young minds to elevate our country, that sub-regional county of Grand Juda. So I want to say a very big thank you to all of you for this opportunity to discuss the divine inspiration that has come to us to uplift our county and our country. So I am very grateful, and I want to say kudos to all of you. Many, many thanks.
Okay, Dr. Butcher, let's go. Can Grand Juda University be a game changer? And how we look at higher education in the southeastern region? If so, how will it be done? Dr.
Thank
Butcher,
you.
you heard my question?
Yes, I heard the question.
Okay.
We're getting the feedback. If you're not talking, please mute. Thank you.
Is that okay now?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Yes, Grand Juda University is actually strategically situated. When you look at the southeastern Liberia, you will see that historically Grand Juda is actually the hub for merger, where you have all the southeastern counties always reaching out. Anything to be done in the southeastern region has to go through Grand Juda. So having a university in Grand Juda will serve the region, because Maryland is actually behind, and it will be difficult for a student from River G to go to Maryland, like Wasan and the lower Nimba, that means Tapeta and the rest. So it means if you look at Grand Juda, especially Zwedru, a university in that region is actually strategically placed. Yes, it can be a game changer, and definitely it is our hope. But we need the resources. We need to transform the university so that we cannot have a half-baked cake. Meaning, without resources, it will be difficult to have quality education from an institution that we are looking at to be second to none. When I mean resources, I mean qualified teachers. I mean computers. I mean science lab. I mean a nursing assimilation lab. I mean agricultural centers where we can test the various type of soil for our students, our teachers, where we can carry out research. How can we produce on a merchandise level? Yes, Grand Judea University is strategically placed and it can be one of the best in the region because of where it is and is in the center, can be reached out easily. And I'm hoping of all of you that yes, that's the reason why, that is one of the reasons we are here tonight. We are here tonight to tell the public that once upon a time, with the effort of the current chairman of the board of trustees and others who had a dream to have quality education for Southeastern Grandidians and others, they established a community college through law. And now the community college has been elevated. The elevation has to go with the resources needed to produce quality education. And through that, we are here tonight to let everyone know that the community college then is now a university that is crying for support, resources, and everything else to be called a university. Without resources, without qualified teachers, we will be having a situation on our hand. A semi-literate is more dangerous than an illiterate. It will be dangerous to have students coming from Grand Judea University who, from the nursing department, for instance, who have not taught or touched or done practical to graduate with a nursing degree. Can you imagine? And the best way to do that, the best way to have qualified nurses is to have all the resources, the practical centers and everything else. And the only way to do that is to have the support, the resources that will help us out. Grand Judea is strategically placed for quality education. Thank you.
Let me ask my second question.
All right, Veteran
Can
Smith,
yeah,
who you going to Dr. Toa?
I want to go with Dr. Boto, and then Dr. Toa can come in if he needs to add.
All right, because this will be
Yeah,
and I want to move to the
okay.
next panel.
Yeah, I know. Can diplomacy partnership and higher education be the new path for education growth for Grand Judea University and other to pursue in Liberia, Dr. Boto, and then Chief Dr. Towa can respond after Dr. Boto.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, that's one of the best questions I have ever had in recent times. Yes, definitely. Diplomacy can be one of the best ways to elevating education in rural Liberia. The reason is this. One, most of the diplomats that you see represent, they are direct representation of their presidents or direct representations of their country. Some of these countries currently have grants, humanitarian grants. Now, it becomes strange or difficult to just walk to a diplomat and present your needs. So the best way, diplomacy, the best way is to befriend those diplomats. Make friends with them, invite them to your corner. It's easier for a friend who visits your home to know your problem and see your needs, what you are lacking, than a friend that you reach out to from a distance. So yes, diplomacy and inviting diplomats in rural Liberia helps us to elevating the debate and call for quality education, because some of the diplomats will see what our needs are. For instance, if you look at our current recent engagement with the French ambassador. When we first engaged her, the conversation was different when she visited us. When we engaged her first, she she had she went with the formal diplomatic approach. Unlike when she visited Grand Jide University, she then decided to have a frank conversation with us, one-on-one, tete-a-tete, different from what we had before. Now we are now looking at the second phase of the friendship with the French embassy. That put us ahead with what we want to do. Yes, diplomacy can help, especially inviting good friends to your corner, to knowing your problem, and don't be ashamed of what your problems are. And that's one of the reasons we are inviting them, so that they can know what the problems are, and they can see willing to help us.
So, Dr. Toa, Chief Dr. Toa, how would this partnership benefit the university?
Yes, thank you so much, Fred, and members of the panel tonight. I began by saying that I endorse the programs undertaken by Eric Zebuto, the president of the Grand Jide University, or if you will, University of Grand Jide. All of the programs fit into the framework that I would describe diplomatic education. So actually, what is diplomatic education? I am the chairman of the board of trustees, and I am an eminent diplomat of Liberia to ECOWAS. And why in ECOWAS? I happened to transition into the traditional African leadership that I refer to, in fact, that we all refer to in Nigeria as traditional rulership or traditional leadership in modern democracy in Africa. I am a chief, Dr. William Deyantua Ogumba one of Abakwanike in Nigeria. Now, education in diplomacy. What that means is that using diplomatic credentials to harness education for our people. I begin by saying that every crisis that happened in the world over, even take the children of Israel, the Holocaust, as deadly as it was, as desperate as it was, that episode was used to harness the existence of the Jewish land, or the Jews, which culminated into the creation of the Jews' homeland. And today we have the great Israel that is a nuclear power compared to none in the Middle East. Now, take the case of Grand Jide. Crisis that happened, the abilities of people to turn crisis into a magnificent evolutionary process of greatness, call for the brightest of its people. I traveled the world. I interacted in the sub-region. I floated with leaders, presidents, ministers. Now, our president, President Joseph Nyamai Boakai, due to his own reasoning and my role that I play, that may be the time permit that can be enumerated in the creation of the Grand Union University, why I was still with ECOWAS, selected me to be the chairman of the Board of Trustees. And let me be this clear. The Board of Trustees is different for the Board of Directors of corporations. Board of Trustees implies that members of the board and the chair, the goodness of the republic with reference to their institutions, the assets and the goodness to be achieved, they are compounded to be controlled and administered by the board. And that's the board that I chair. So the resources of the government, the goodness of the will of the people, and the emancipation of our people in that part of Liberia and Liberians in general, that body of establishment plays in under my control as chair with other members to make sure that our country aspiration in that domain, in that part of Liberia, are placed under my control.
Okay.
And so all of the great work being done by President Boto with reference to the board with the approval meet our endorsement. Now, the French ambassador went to Grand Jide, and I was talking about education diplomacy or diplomacy in education. Grand Jide presents a competitive advantage in Liberia when it comes to the French language, because as a result of the crisis, the civil war, that ordinary Liberian has no part to play, but it was an imposition of circumstances. And as deadly as it was, many Grangidians and Liberians found themselves in Cote d'Ivoire. Many of them were schooled in Cote d'Ivoire. And so they returned home with the French language. And you will agree with me, with the influx of Burkinabe in West Africa, the most hardworking individuals, I understand there are over 70,000 Burkinabe who are from a French-speaking background. They are all in Grand Jide. It means that, while it is true, there are some demerits to have foreigners coming in, but there are some merits. In fact, ultimately, I cannot say it's a demerit because these are all ECOWAS citizens. I understand the extreme position of Burkina Faso in recent times, but that was not a decision of the ordinary citizen of Burkina Faso. It was a political elite that made that decision. So the people remain to be citizens of ECOWAS.
Dr. Toa, I would love for us to keep it short because both of you here, we have Dr. Toa, and we have you, and we have a few panelists here. And I want to be able to go around and get other panelists to be able to share ask the question and share the thoughts with you. But if you can conclude on it, that'll be great.
Yeah, just give me 30 seconds to conclude.
Correct.
And so, these Burkinabes are in Grand Jide who are French speaking. Over 70,000, I would say 100,000 in Grand Jide. That places Grand Jide as a competitive advantage when it comes to Liberians who want to learn French, to strengthen our institutions in Grand Jide into the French language. Because when we are bilingual, your job opportunity on the global stage is advantageous. And so how can we turn that into a positive drive? And so the coming into Grand Jide of the French ambassador, knowing that Grand Jide is the front line county to a Francophone Cote d'Ivoire, there's so much that be drawn. So I rest now. We'll discuss this more.
Well, thank you, that Chief Dr. Toa and Dr. Boto. I just want to say that we're having a great discussion, and I think everyone here is enjoying this. We have two very prominent individuals from the university representing the university. I just want the panel to keep that in mind as we ask our question. Each person going to get 2 questions as we move forward. So that go to you now, Mr. Amos Wright. You can go 1 to Dr. Boto, and then you go 1 to Chief Dr. Williams. Or if you want to ask just
Sure.
either one of them, that's fine. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Wright. And let me start with Dr. Towa, who just put the mark down. So, Doc, from your intro to where you landed, there's one key thing I took from there, that you're so satisfied with the program put in place by President Boto. It sounds like then you have nothing else to do there because the program is already set.
Absolutely. It means that, in fact, I was chair of the board of trustees that vetted eminent librarian to select the president of the Grand Jide University. And so the selection of President Boto meets universal criteria. And I'm so pleased because a competitive vetting process was constituted. And so he has all of my support to explore the necessary avenue to make the Grand Jide University second to none. And so, yes, I'm pleased with him, and I give him all the support. In fact, the French ambassador came to Grand Jide, the background that I provided. Very soon, the German ambassador will be coming, and I'm sure the president will explain to you why we selected the German ambassador to come to Grand Jide University. He will explain to you, because we communicate all of the time, and there's no deviation. In fact, we have a divergence of reasoning when it comes to higher education in Liberia and specifically in Grand Jide for this matter.
Thank you, Doc. And Dr. Boto, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Good evening.
I'm trying to recollect if this is the Dr. Boto that I really know from Buduburan refugee camp. I'm trying to build a connection, then my question.
Yes.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
That's the Dr. Boto from 1995.
Very good. All right, then my question. I heard you say Grand Jide was not a dream. Grand Jide was not even in the picture. And then many times you said you were asked to come to Grand Jide. You were advised. I didn't hear you in between there where your mind connected with people advising you to come to Grand Jide, and you accepting that though Grand Jide was not my dream, was not part of my mind, but I'm looking at Grand Jide not because people say I should go there, I'm good there, I should think about there, but I accept from my own mind that I'm going there, which will suggest to me that you came with a purpose of self-motivation. You want to explain that, sir?
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Wright. Thank you. At times you may not see things the way others would see it, especially others. There is this parable that what a young man can see, what an elder can see while in the valley, a young person over the hill may not see it. Being a young man, as energetic as I am, we all have this tendency that everything in the West is the best. So moving to the West and enjoying the enjoying the Western lifestyle kind of cloud our decisions of coming home. Yes. But looking at the encouragement, if you look at the encouragement, other will, that's what I said, sometimes we may not see things. That's why when it comes to, let me put a little bit of word in there, petition. When people are petitioning leaders, they are simply telling this leader that you have this trail to do this. And the leader can sit back, look at it and see, oh, okay, yes. Yes, based on the call and advice I received, I gave it my best. I gave it a thought. And from the thought process, I realized that Grand Judea to move forward, it needs her children. For Liberia to move forward, it needs the best mind. You can be out there, but you will always be a Liberian descent. You can be out there, you will always be referred to an immigrant. You can be out there, you will always be referred to or having a Liberian background. Now, looking at the sub-region, the sub-region is moving forward because the best minds from those countries are coming home to contribute to national development. Considering the core, I decided to give it, as I said, give it a thinking process. And the decision was, yes, I can do it. Yes, indeed, it is possible. Yes, indeed, with the support of all these people calling, the core of all of these people can actually help me to rally the support I will need in the future. You know, when you come forward sometime by yourself, it kind of, it may appear like boasting, but if it is supported by communal, if it is supported by communal core, then it means that the community is willing to rally around you. So most of the core was about rallying in the sense that we are here to support you should you be accepted in this position. Yes, the core were actually the bedrock and motivating factor that pushed me to apply. And I can see, as the chairman rightly said, we have been receiving calls of support, tons of Grangidians, of Liberians coming in to support. Let me give you an example. The Speaker of the 55th Legislature, Honorable Richard Coon, visited Grand Judea University recently, and he pledged to electrify the entire campus. Right after the speaker left, the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia also visited the campus and saw that there was a need for a modern student center. As we speak tonight, the resources to constructing that facility on the way from Nimba. Right after the visit of the Vice President, Musa Belete also went there, and he decided to also construct an agricultural center. So yes, we are having tons of Liberians, Grangidians, and let me not leave out I want to use my grandma in my grandma too. The big one that our own sister had decided to do, Madam Wallace, the wife of John Wallace, Eva Djibouti Wallace, had pledged with her husband to build a facility worth $1 million at the Grand Judea University. So if you catalog all of these pledges and supporting arm, you will see that everyone is willing to support Grand Judea University to its elevation, and that they want Grand Judea University to be second to none. Yeah, let me go back to the first question about diplomacy. Yes, now that is from the background that we are calling the international diplomats to visit there so that they can also see, because most of these diplomats are from the West, and university from the West is universities in the West, they have their own setting. So when they see our setting and comparing it with theirs, and we make a call, they will say, oh yes, these people don't really have this thing. Let's support them. So yes, we are reaching out to everyone. My coming to Liberia, it's self-motivating based on the advice I received. Sometimes you will feel that you cannot go certain places, but when people advise you, either like my older brother tonight, Mr. Raihu, I have interacted with, who used to advise us as young Grangidians back then. Let aim for the highest. Let think big. Yes, it is
Okay.
based on your advice back in the days that we are all thinking big now to make Granjida even better than LU. Yes, it's a big dream. Yes, but it's not something that we cannot do together. You actually indirectly play a part to mowing our minds on the Buduburonkiam, where young people were going astray. But you were one of the educators who kept teaching us to hold on despite the difficulties we were going through. And I'm proud tonight to share this platform with you as one of your products, now leading the charge to have quality education.
All right. Okay.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, Dr. Boto. Let's go to Mr. Gay. I would have gone to you, but you just came back, and there are other panelists. I'll come back to you after this. Mr. Nubo, your 2 questions, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. I listened to the 2 wonderful and educated guests, and I'm impressed. But I'm at the same time taken aback when Chief Dr. William Toy compared diplomatic education to the state of Israel. I know what's going on with the Palestinians. I know what is going on with the people of Lebanon. I know what is going on with the people of how do you call it, Iran. And I hope that I know Grand or University will not appear to be another Israel. Having said that, Chief Dr. Toy, I heard about going to, the guests are all gone though.
Yeah, I think that the
Maybe I scared them away or what?
No, that's the weather back.
Yeah, I think that the internet, but they will come back and keep talking.
Yeah, we've been doing that all night tonight.
No, maybe they are not hearing me.
Yeah, hold on. Dr. Toa is right back.
Uh-huh.
All right, there you go. I think I hear you now.
So I was taken aback by that statement of making reference to Israel.
Nah, I lost the audio. I don't know what can happen here. And I don't have the issue on any other platform but here.
Hello. I hope Grand or the Grand University will not be another Israel. Having said that, we are talking about it is good. Diplomatic education is good. But are you coordinating it with the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs? That's your question, Dr. Toa.
All right. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. And all of these ministries are accredited near Monrovia. All the diplomatic corps, they are accredited near Monrovia, but they are all recognized by the government of Liberia. So in as much, and I'm speaking now as a diplomat, in as much as they are accredited near Monrovia, it means that they recognize the coexistence of Liberia as a country of interest of which they exist. Now, so every action that is taken within the confines of the law, and I emphasize the word within the confines of the law or diplomatic norms, meet the sine qua non within the diplomatic space. Now, so our engagement with the French ambassador within the Republic of Liberia to do what is right within the diplomatic space does not contravene the laws of Liberia and the norms of the diplomatic confines. And so that does not require that you go through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs as long as the ministries exist. I mean, this embassy exists in the Republic and have been credited and they have programs. I know if there were anything that contravened the norms of diplomacy, the French ambassador would never travel his way through. And I want to repeat that. And so, given the diplomatic cloud that I have from within the sub-region, and what I know to be true within the diplomatic space, I have coordinated and advised the president of the Grand Judah University to engage those people. Because there are two dimensions that Grand Judah University benefits from. Whether it's the French embassy, the German embassy, the American embassy, the British embassy, or all other embassies. Many of those embassies have programs for educational advancement. And so the fact that Grand Judah University has ongoing programs with those embassies that are accredited near Monrovia, in Liberia, that they have relations with Grand Judah University, all we're going to get is higher heights, progress. We does not contravene the diplomatic space. And so I endorse that with my credentials.
Thank you.
An ECOWAS diplomat. And so there's nothing that the president of the university has done wrong, because I understand that even if had it been anything wrong, the French ambassador and even the German ambassador will be coming shortly. They would never come if there were anything that contravenes the diplomatic states in Liberia. Now, the French embassy came, and I say specifically the French embassy, because I know Grand Judah should be a frontier for reasons that I explained before. Now, the German embassy built the referral hospital in Grand Judah, and I know they have programs to staff or to help or to liaise with the Liberian government to adequately staff the hospital. And the Grand Judah University has a health sciences program that will be starting shortly to produce nurses that will start that hospital. And so partnershiping with the German embassy, possibly to harness foreign training into either master's degree for nurses to come and to serve the hospital at the highest professional level. That would be a gain to Liberia, a gain to Grand Judah, and a gain to the individual expertise. So I endorse that as the chairman of the board of trustees, because that has to do with harnessing educational endeavor that produces the highest quality of services to our people. So, in a nutshell, to answer your question, there is no contravention of the diplomatic norms, rules, laws, and protocols within the borders of Liberia.
Okay, thank you. I was not talking about contravention. I was talking about coordination. Thank you. Okay, my second question goes to
Dr. Boto is not here. He's dropped off.
But quickly, let's come back to the point of coordination. We have the embassies in country accredited by the government of Liberia. So do I have to go to the Minister of Foreign Affairs to engage the embassy in Liberia? That is not necessary. It's a blotted bureaucracy.
Okay.
The embassies are already being accredited. Because when the ambassador is appointed, the ambassador does not operate until the ambassador is accredited by the government of Liberia.
Okay.
And so there are the do's and don'ts. So I don't have to go back to the foreign ministry or go back to the mansion. And the ambassador also knows the do and the don'ts. And so I am a philosopher. I teach management and I teach public policy at the master and PhD level. And so when diplomatic norms are given, I don't have to run back to the foreign ministry. I know, and the embassies know, the leverage. And so in terms of coordination, yes, there are coordination because there are frameworks set. And if there's any contravention or any beyond those norms, then consultations are necessary. But as far as the Grand Judah University interaction or coordination or cooperation or engagement with the embassy, there's no contravention. And I can tell you that. Had there been a contravention, the ambassadors would never come to Grand Judah in the first place. I can assure you that.
Okay, thank you.
So we come from a knowledge base, though. We come from a knowledge base, and we are not novice.
Well,
or novices.
I'm not saying you people are novices. I know what I'm talking about. I was at Tuckmore College of Technology during Toba and Dole time. And
so how does our engagement with the French embassy because of Vienna norms? Just say I can respond to you.
Let me land.
Yeah, please. I'm listening to you.
I've not said anything and you want to jump in.
No, I'm listening to you.
And through the Ministry of Education, the president of the college traveled to Egypt. We got 4 or 5 professors from Egypt. Through the Ministry of Education, we got 2 or instructor from Japanese volunteer organization, and we got 2 from EU. And even when I was the chief operation officer at the GAC, all the assistants are coming from these foreign or international countries. The government came up with a plan that it should be channeled through the Ministry of Commerce. No, not Commerce, or Ministry of Planning. That was the time of John Molu was Auditor General of Liberia. I'm telling you what I know.
All right, Mr. Nubu, your last question, please.
No, let me say no. Just a minute. Just a moment. Just a moment. Let me say this.
Chief Dr. Toa, let me ask a question. Then you can come back.
Okay.
And respond while you answer the question.
My last question, actually, is intended for the president.
Well, but he's the board of chair of the board of trustees.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, almost
the president and even the board of trustee chair is for them, because I mean, when I look at the background, I don't see any STEM or education. I think the president did theology, and he did a work on prosperity gospel in Africa. So looking back, are you people thinking that, oh, if we knew, we should have concentrate on science or STEM education, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics? That's my second question.
Okay, let me come in a little bit. Let me come in a little bit here,
No,
Mr.
it's for you.
Moderator.
It's for you.
Because the president is not here.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me say this, and I want to be very respectful of all of you.
Okay.
But I am coming to this interview because the interview have been scheduled and rescheduled, and for every time it is scheduled and rescheduled, I've always been available. I don't shy away from press interview.
Okay.
Because I know it is the right thing to do, because I respect the dissemination of information, and I respect your work. But also, I do not want a connotation that somehow we don't know what we are doing. And when it comes to diplomatic space, that's my turf. And let me say this to all of you. The French ambassador, he knows better. He would never travel to Zwedru if there were anything that contravenes the norms, the practices, the protocol, and the operational maneuvering of our office. He would never endeavor to do that. And so what I can tell you is that in terms of coordination, there has been coordinations with the foreign ministry, with education, with all operational apparatus within the country of within the Republic of Liberia. So the French ambassador did not, and the German ambassador becoming shortly, will not travel to Grand Judea, far with Grand Judea, a tough terrain in absentia or without the necessary requirement or the approval or within the framework. So any approach or any attempt to think that we did those things what I observe is just not right. Now, let me say this, the next thing. The president did theology, did that. The requirement is someone with PhD. And I want to say here to you, all of you tonight, I was the chair of the committee that recruited the president, review all the credentials, everyone. Where you got your degree from, where your dissertation, the highest in terms of PhD acquisition is your dissertation. We solicited the dissertation at everyone. And I particularly review line by line the dissertation of each of the person I applied. I was in Nigeria, but I devoted my time to this process. And the highest performance of all of them was Dr. Boto. I have no regret selecting this young man. And I stand with him when I became chairman, and before I recruited him, I was there for almost 6-7 months. The Grand Judea University was dying slowly because there was somebody acting who did not meet the threshold, who went through the process, and the young man was selected. The Grand Judea University at the time had very close to 125 students for a community college that pay professors, pay so much money. But today, you speak to him, I'm sure the number is beyond 500, just within a 1 year's period. And I know the next time you come back, the next 5-6 months will be over 1,000 plus. And so for me, William Toa, you do a research about me. Go on Google, go anywhere else, review me. And I stand proudly as a proud Liberian and a proud West African. I went through the process competitively, everything I did. And my involvement on the Grand Judea Community College bring or harness the best. And this is why I continue to tell all of you, I do not want to take center stage. I recruited a best president, and I want the president to take center stage. I'll back him up because I know he's one of the best. And I think Fred can attest to that. I'm really here tonight to support the president. You guys know he's one of the best that we selected. Whatever I do tonight is to support him. So what I can show Liberia and Grand Jide and West Africa is that the Grand Jide University has one of the best minds, and we stand to support him. And that will lead us to the next chapter of the $1 million budget deficit. That is very crucial. Thank you.
Thank you, Archie. Before we move on, I want to make one thing clear. I said I'm not questioning the qualification of the president of the university.
I got to move to the next.
I'm saying, looking back, what does he think, the president? I mean, we are talking about STEM education. Looking back, he did theology. That's what I'm saying. I'm saying he's not qualified. The first group of people that started getting a PhD, the people who major in theology. So I'm not questioning his qualification. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Gay, let have your two questions, please.
Yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to once more have interaction with Dr. Tua and Dr. Boto. Hopefully Dr. Boto can join us, but I mean, they both work on the same team, so whatever question I ask, I think,
you're coming, Mr. Gay.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Dr. Tua, for your expose and for your service to our nation once again. I'm more practical than can you allow me to speak? So yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have anything along the pipeline for Grand Jide University in terms of vocational training? Because not everyone can do the 4-year degree. They can do academics, right? But people have potentials, and you need a blue collar, to be also empowered. Germany did this very well after World War II. Germany came out with this STEM education and also came out with the vocational training. Whereas today, the German motor vehicles and the German product and everything, you go to Germany and they come to renewable energy, they are number one. They don't play, net zero energy, all of these different things. So I'm from the background of information technology, and I can tell you that you can train a young man or woman, into IT field for like 2 years, and they can be a productive citizen. They don't have to have the high-end degree or not, and they can be a productive citizen. There's also along the pipeline of the Putu Mountain. I want that name to be changed back to Grand Jide Mountain, and the perspective of is being explored, and and all of that stuff. But we have to prepare our people. If there's anything along the pipeline for the Grand Jide University to prepare our people in the engineering field, or also offer vocational training.
Thank you. I'm just not getting your name very well, but I think you made a very good contribution, and I want to applaud you for this. And you spoke very well in the Nigerian framework. You spoke very well, and I want to say, as a Grand Jidean, you spoke very well also. Certainly, as far as Grand Jide is concerned, in fact, with the act just approved by the legislature, the multilateral, the Grand Jide multilateral provide that mid-level technical training vis-a-vis pre-university or pre-college. And so there are people who are post-high school graduates who go into technical areas and are trained. And in fact, the multilateral now has been a specialized institution that will be funded and they become a specialized institution that have their own budget, and that I visited that high school, which had now metamorphosed to a technical training institution, and so they have the capacity. But let me say this. President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf did a very good job. When I served as a lecturer, senior lecturer at the university from 2006 to 2011, I delivered a white paper on behalf of Grand Jide and other universities deliver their own papers, but on behalf of Grand Union, I deliver white paper. And my advocacy was that to decentralize the University of Liberia, to have the Southeastern region headed by a vice chancellor to be based in Sweden. But then President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, her debate with the international community was to create human capital development for national enhancement. And so community college was endorsed, or community colleges were endorsed for Lofa, Nimba, Grand Jide, and then Grand Bassa, because we already have the other university there in Swakopmund County. And so, but we're able to inculcate into the framework of the community colleges that whoever had a community college should be a PhD, because our intention was to metamorphose the community colleges to a full-fledged university. And which at our time now, when we came back, beside white people and creation of community colleges, somehow I was not in Liberia, I was in Nigeria, working for ECOWAS. It was the President Boakai that called on me, can you save Grand Jide University as chairman of the board of trustees? 2024. I was not in Liberia. I did not lobby for anything. I was a citizen working in the foreign missions. And so we endorsed that, we agreed with the president, and we came back, we asked the president, and this was our vision. Can we elevate Grand Jide Community College University, the Nimba, the Lufa, the Grand Bassa? And the president agreed with us. Now we have what we have. And so our drive is to make sure that the Grand Jide University produces some of the best in our country, and that's what we are driving towards. And we introduce what we call education diplomacy, bringing the French ambassador, because we think Grand Jide can provide a frontier when it comes to the French language in Liberia, coming down to the high school level, that many Liberians want to send their children to go to school in Grand Jide County, because the French language is very strong, much stronger in Grand Jide compared to any part of Liberia. And we continue to honor it. I'm sorry?
Do you speak French?
I will to work. Well, I have working knowledge of French.
Do you speak French? But let me ask my second question.
No, I have a working. No. Let me say this: I have working knowledge of French. I cannot profess I speak French.
Okay.
I have working knowledge of French.
No problem. I grew up in Ivory Coast anyway, so that's the reason why I speak French. I speak and write French.
Who am I speaking with now? Who am I speaking with now?
This is Anthony Gay, the same gentleman who asked the first question.
Anthony Gay, are you from Grand Jide?
Absolutely, both parents from Kunamo. My God,
all right, excellent. Okay, no,
okay. So my second question here has to do with if there is anything along the pipeline for the University of Grand Jide in the technology field. What are introduction to IT, or basic coding, any form of introductory of information technology, because we are living in a technological economy now. The entire globe, there's no entity that functions without technology, right? So you're talking to the person also who works in IT as well. Currently, I am an engineer in my field, but I can tell you for a fact that if we can introduce technology in Grand Jide, that would be a plus, because young men and women, once they have the skill set, they can work from Grand Jide where they are, once they have access to internet and the laptop with a reliable source of electricity. And so if there is anything along the pipeline, if you don't have it now, that's fine. But if you have anything along the pipeline for information technology to be part of the discipline offered at the University of Grand Jide.
Thank you, Anthony. Absolutely. I think the president mentioned that. And one of our sisters, Eva Djibouti, made a commitment of $1 million to Grand Jide University. And IT is one of the infrastructure that will be supported by the $1 million. We are working with Madam Djibouti Wallace on the details of that. He pledged $1 million, and bulk of that funding will go towards IT. And I can assure you that I was in America. I had a dialogue with her, and we are following with our discussion. In fact, I intend to teach 1 or 2 courses at the Grand Jide University, even though I'm an adjunct professor, teaching master PhD level at the University of Liberia, but I also want to teach a course or one or two courses at the University of Grand Guinea at the business level, at the graduate level. And so I want to use the IT because at least one or twice I'll be a visit Grand Guinea, but I can teach from Monrovia using the IT. So yes,
absolutely.
It's
online classes, yes, definitely.
online
Even
classes.
If every student do not have a computer, you can have one projector that can project on the screen, and all of the 25 student or 30 student can see the projector, and they can ask questions from there as well. So all students do not have to have access to a laptop in the time being if they cannot afford it at the moment. Just a thought I want to share out there with you.
Absolutely, Tony. And don't be surprised. We'll count on some of you to offer courses. You know, there are some people. When Grand Community College was at the community college level, that had BSc teaching associate level. Then when the university metamorphosed to a university level, offering BSc, we cannot fire those people. We are trying to train them now to get a master's. So some of those people will be TAs to some of us who are senior professors or senior lecturers, and they'll serve as TAs. And so when the framework is structured, and I'm glad, I will be happy the president comes back, because I don't want to take the place of the president.
Yeah, he's back now.
Yeah, I am confident with the president. What I do tonight, and I told Fred, in my capacity as chairman of the board of trustees, the chairman of the board of trustees is different from the chairman of the board of directors. We are much deeper. We are the custodian of the resources regarding education in that county, higher education. And so I prefer the president speaks and I back him up because I have confidence in him. I don't want to usurp his function. But what you're saying here, Anthony Gay, don't be surprised one day we'll call on you to provide some services via the Blackboard using the internet.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Gay and Chief Dr. Toa. It's my turn. Let me ask my questions. Chief Dr. Toa, thank you for really staying with us tonight, because all the folks from Liberia are having trouble staying on. And that includes Dr. Eric Boto himself. He's having trouble. It's raining heavy over there to you guys, and so the connection is not as strong as it usually is. Now, I want to pick up from where you ended, Dr. Toa. What is the mission and vision of Grand Juda University?
Do we have the president back?
No, he's trying to come back on. I mean, right. We can pass on if you don't want to answer the question.
No, I can speak to that. But if you're on, I would have preferred him to speak to that. But if he's not on, that's fine.
No, because the reason I asked that question is where you ended, with your response to Mr. Gay. You said you are the custodian of, what the university is all about in the county. And I don't disagree with that. Now, if that is the case, then I think it is also, right for us to ask you about the mission and the vision of the university.
Is this Mr. Fred Smith?
No, this is Archie Wright.
Oh, Archie. All right. That's beautiful. No, I think that's a very fine question. Because I continue to say that I support the president. And so if the president was here, I would have preferred the president to take a lead, that I put my hand on his shoulders. Because at the level I wish I am, as an eminent Liberian and a Grand Judean, I do not wish to usurp the function of people that are in power. That's what I ask. But if he's not on, now go ahead to answer that question. The function.
Yeah, this one he's not on yet. You'll join us later.
Yeah, that's fine.
If you want to reserve that, that's fine too. Then maybe I can ask. I can.
No, I can go ahead. No, actually, that's not a problem.
Okay.
I was just wondering if he was here. If he's not here, that's fine. The mission of the Grand Juda University. The mission of the Grand Juda University is to produce the highest quality of education to Liberian in that part of Liberia, and to become competitive among their peers. That's the core. Now, the second aspect of that you asked, I forgot a little bit. What was the second part of that question you asked?
The vision.
The vision.
Okay, the vision. The vision is to empower the best minds of Liberian to aspire for the highest education. I'm just paraphrasing because I
Yes.
don't have that before me now.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
think I can accept that. And let me
Yeah.
just move on with that. So if and I think that's great. That's a great vision statement. So it is, the goal is to train, students to be, be able to compete, with any other students around the world in that part of Liberia. So how are you guys going about that process? And again, I'm still coming off what you said last, when you were responding to Mr. Gay, that you embody what a university is all about. So I'm thinking now, as the board of trustee, you look at the effective running of the university, you look at the programming, you look at the faculty, you look at all of that, and I think you're doing a great job already, as you have said, as far as connecting the university, through your diplomatic approach, as you said, of bringing the various ambassadors. We want to applaud you guys for that. But I'm particular about how is the university setting out to achieve its goal and mission? Because what we usually see across Africa is people open universities and they teach all these social sciences, and even they put even some technical courses, they put them on there. Oh, we got engineering, we got technology, we got geoscience, we got physical science, but none of these things are actually practiced at the full potential. So this is what I'm asking. You said you want to train people in that part of Liberia to be competitive with any other students in the world. That is great. What are we doing in that regard at the University of Liberia to achieve that, Chief Dr. Toa?
Well, thank you, Archie.
I mean, wow, that's a beautiful question, Archie.
You want to add, or you want me to answer now?
No, please answer. I'm sorry for interrupting.
All right. And I think that's a very beautiful question, and I agree with you. We just want to produce a bunch of people who will be roaming the streets without the competitive edge to earn employment or job creation. And so one of the things we consider in some of the programs are that we produce students who can immediately have employment or who by themselves can create jobs. That is the sine qua non at the Grand Julian University. At the same time, there is a program that we instituted that we refer to as educational diplomacy, so that most of our students, when they graduate, they can have the opportunity for scholarship to go get a master's abroad and come back. Now, and so we reference to the question you asked, producing top-notch graduates. What the university has endeavored now is that to venture into programs that will qualify students by themselves to go to create jobs, or upon graduation, there are jobs available at most for them. And I emphasize the word at most for them. And so one of the leading programs that handles job creation upon graduation for our students is health sciences. When I took over the university, the health sciences program was closed. The health sciences program includes the principal program of nursing. We have done everything possible to meet all the threshold for the reopening of the health sciences program. And so school has just closed now. In the next 2 months, the school will be opening. when the school opens, the health science program will be created. The health science program, from the experience, has attracted the highest influx of student per capita. So when you have the entire enrollment, about 400 students, the health sciences were also close to 400 per capita. That match all the programs combined. The essence is that most of the students that go there that are trained into nursing, midwifery, they can either create their own jobs or be placed either in Grand Jide or the southeastern counties and Lower Nimba. So many students are attracted to the program because there's a win-win situation in terms of employment or job creation into this sector. Now, that somebody mentioned about this Putu Mountain, Jide Mountain vis-a-vis. I have, since I came back to Liberia for the past 2 months, in fact, I'm not employed. I leave and I deliberately early retirement to come back to Liberia. And I've been around for the past 2.5 months with the legislature, ordinary citizens, with the county officials. And I know that the mountain of Grand Jide is Jide Mountain, not Putu Mountain. Somehow people say Putu Mountain to water down the name Grand Jide, but the history is the history. And we'll come back to the name Jide Mountain. We're working towards that. And so when Jide Mountain is revitalized, all of these students we are training, they'll be in readiness for employment or for contribution or to help into the running of the Putu Mountain for job placement.
Okay.
And so in a nutshell, with the question you ask, we are training young people for placement on the job and also for job creation, to be creators of jobs in Grand Jide and in the southeastern region, including Lower Nimba.
Okay, that's a noble goal. My last question to you, Dr. Toa, Chief Dr. Toa. Now I can see the finesse you're trying to use here when you pronounce the country Liberia. You said Liberia. Is it Liberia or Liberia? And lastly, if you look at the budget of the universities, LOFA is budgeted. Doc laughing.
Someone asked me the same question yesterday on our platform.
But
enunciation of the country Liberia.
Yeah, so I mean I can sense the finesse, but I just want you to tell us whether you're using the finesse or is that how you pronounce the country. But LOFA is giving $3 million, Dr. Toa, Chief Dr. Toa, and Grand Jide is awarded $2 million. What the disparity is all about? Can you explain that? Because it is my understanding that it were both created together. That's my question, sir.
Actually, my brothers, my dear brothers. Well, that's the politics that I'm not prepared to discuss tonight. We'll discuss that at another forum.
Okay,
but I'll tell you. No, just 1 minute. But I'll tell you. And this is why the budget of the Grand Jide Community College of 800,000, little over 800,000, that is the same budget they are giving to Grand Jide University, a little over 800,000. Nothing changed. So if you give that amount to Grand Jide Community College, offering an associate and the president through channel, and I emphasize through channel, the legislature proposed, they endorsed, the president approved to have a Grand Jide University, and the budget did not change. You get the same budget that you give to the community college, you get that same budget to Grand Jide University. So we have a $1 million budget deficit that leads us down to the people's empowerment, self-help, to have a $1 million fundraiser. Now, you may want to see who makes the budget, who are they considering the budget, who approved the budget, on what basis the budget is approved. The Grand Jide Community College presented its budget. We forced on the Grand Jide County budget. Somehow, that budget was that budget was reduced by $1 million. And so the budget was approved. Even though we have people at the legislature, they did not recognize the fact that Grand Judea Community College are now metamorphosed to Grand Judea University. And nobody was there to look at that, to tease out, and to advocate. Maybe they did, maybe other people did not approve. I don't know the details. I don't want to challenge anyone. But the fact remains that Grand Judea University was underfunded by $1 million. And this is why now we are launching self-help initiative to be able to run the university. But I say when the time comes, at a different forum, we'll discuss the do and the don'ts regarding the geopolitical dispensation of the county. And I'll be prepared. I will discuss that in detail. So then relax that for now.
Okay, that's great. So what about, is it Liberia or Liberia? Which one is it?
You know, those of you from America, you'll say Liberia, or Liberia, or Liberia. But I am an African. Liberia. It got B-E-A-B, R-I-A, L-I, B, Ria, R-I-A. So I chose to pronounce it that way. So you may agree with me or disagree with me, but that's what I chose. Liberia.
Okay.
Yeah. It's not
He wanted to
Liberia.
learn French.
We'll take
like
that.
the way the
We'll
French
take that.
can say it.
Yeah, it's at an intersection of French and.
But that's
and-
good. That's
and
good.
I don't
That's,
know.
that's,
But
that's,
let's go to.
that's a
That's
good
my
thing
choice.
to remember.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so
exactly.
unique to the way he says it.
Yeah, that's a choice. That's true. Let's go to Veteran Smith. Veteran Smith, your 2 questions, please.
Yeah, Dr. Towa, let's get back to this diplomacy and partnership. One will wonder, the French ambassador is coming to the university, series of talks. What are some of the talks that they will be delivering? Have you all worked out the modality of what they would rather be telling the students or the public? Why is it a series? And what would actually they will be talking about? That's my first question to you, Dr. Towa.
Well, thank you, Frank. You know, at my level, I deal with broad issues. I don't deal with detail specific because the president and his a vice president for operation, for administration, vice president for instruction, they can deal with the details. But let me tell you the general landscape, why we need partnership with the French ambassador. First of all, Grand Judea is a frontier county to Cote d'Ivoire. And Cote d'Ivoire in Francophone Africa or Francophone West Africa, Cote d'Ivoire is a center of engagement. Even though during the Cote d'Ivoire War, Senegal came prominent, but Cote d'Ivoire has taken a center stage. And Grand Judea is a frontier county to Liberia. So if we have a strong base of the French language in Grand Judea, and Grand Judea is presented as the center of excellence for the learning of French language, what that means is that many people who want their children to go abroad for ECOWAS job, for AU job, for African development job, for even World Bank job, or even UN job, they want their children to attend schools, either high school, junior high, high schools, even university in Grand Judea, so they can have a strong French base. They can have competitive advantage in the French language, which will give them the second language advantage when competing for international jobs. So I have been a proponent that Grenadians went to exile in Cote d'Ivoire. Many Grenadians, many young people went to school in Cote d'Ivoire. Many of the young people before the war, immediately after the war, went to school in Cote d'Ivoire, and they speak both French and English. Coupled with that, we have the influx of close to 100,000 Burkinabes or Ivorians, because most of the Burkinabe coming to Liberia, they have Ivorian nationalities. I know that for sure, because there were a lot of them. And so, and many of these people are coming back, they're not going to leave. Whether you like it or not, they will not leave Grand Gide. In fact, right now I'm working to a plan B, how these people are being granted legally and not the haphazard approach that which I'm working on with legal apparatus. And so if Grand Gide has a competitive edge, how can we delve into that for the county as a whole to have a competitive edge? And Francophone or French language is one of the things that become the sine qua non in the frontier. And so our partnership with the French embassy to see how we can build a knowledge base of the French language in Grand Gide becomes very imperative. Because every situation that happens, you look at what is good out of it. You don't look at negative. And I am trained, I'm a strategic management specialist. I'm trained to think beyond the ordinary. While other people are making noise, I think what is beyond the noise. That's what I'm trained for. And so I've always discussed with the president of the university. I don't want you to go political. You have a highest calling. You are the president of the university, a higher institution of learning. Stay the course. Let's discuss. Let's find a way to make Grand Gide competitive among the committee of counties in Liberia. And I'm glad that he has seen this vision. And we are delving into that approach. And so the coming of the French ambassador, the lecture series were based upon what is the strategic objective. But I know the details can be provided by the president. I provided the overaging approval, which I think is a win-win for Grand Gide and for Liberia, for that matter.
My second question would be the German. And we know why the German with the referral hospital. Many people from Grand Gide and other who not from Grand Gide interested in the referral hospital. We think it's too soon for the hospital administrator and the staff to move in the referral hospital, because as you stated, the training part will be done by you with the Grand Gide University. So since that was not the initial planning, and they built the hospital, and some people feel it's unfinished yet, and the staff that will be running the hospital, how fast can the university meet up with the demand and the training process, all of that to be on course to meet the health needs, not only for the people of Grand Gide, but the southeastern region that will benefit from the referral hospital?
Well, thank you, Mr. Smith. Well, the government knows better or knows other things that I don't know. The government has decided to commission the hospital and to open the hospital. That's fine. That's their calling. That's the Ministry of Health calling. I don't have a problem with that. But as an academic, what I can do is that I know, even with Mother Totman, there was a need to train more people for Mother Totman. So if we have a referral hospital in Grand Gide, we should serve not only Grand Gide, but serve for the most part the southeastern region and some part of Lower Nimba. And I emphasize Lower Nimba, because some part of Lower Nimba, and don't get me wrong, I mean, I'm a nationalist, and I don't believe in division. In fact, many people in the Tapeta region, many of them have southeastern region, southeastern citizenship. Yeah, many of them have roots in the southeastern part of Liberia. In fact, the Tuoi from Nimba, they must say cousins. I'm a Toa, and but they have root in Tapeta, and I know other people have their roots. But most of the people will not have problem coming to the hospital in Grand Gide, because I know during the dark days, people from the Gio ethnic group who have their roots, their parents, some of the half of the parents from Grand Gide were very helpful. And I can say this to you, even during the days of Charles Taylor, There were some people that confessed to me when they went to Nimba, Lower Nimba. Even Samuel Doe picture was still hanging out in some of the people's houses in Lower Nimba, in Tapeta. So we have close historical ties. And yesterday I spoke and I said, look, when I was in the charge to the government, there were Nimbayans that were so helpful to make sure that Grand Jude has a full stool, not to be wiped out. That help for what we call today Grand Jude. And I told all Grand Judeans that, look, be grateful to Nimbayans. I agree that some hardliners who have their obscure ideas, but there are many people that prefer the coexistence of all Liberians for Nimba. And I still want to emphasize that tonight. As a true Liberian and the crown man in the Grand Jude and Southeasterner. And I believe in this one country we have that God gave us. And so I would never divide our people. My role is, my level of education is to build our people together. And so the hospital, the government has decreed. Well, that's the political side. I'm not a politician in this purview. I'm speaking as an academic. We'll continue to train people for the Grand Jude Hospital, for hospitals or clinics across the southeastern region and Lower Nimba, and also some part of rural access. Because the rural access, you can really access them from rural access, you can access them from Grand Jude. And some part of Lower Nimba, you can access them from the mean Nimba, but you can access them from some part of Lower Grand Jude into the B area. So, I understand the geopolitics of our country. I am over 62 years old now. I live long in this country, in our country. And I see myself as a father for a new Liberia before I leave for our country to be a homogeneous country where all of us support each other. And I'm glad Fred Smith from Riverside is one of the major anchor in radio, how they call it, Top FM in Zwedru. And I'm happy. Smith, I'm very proud of you. I want to say a big thank you to all of you.
Okay. Thank you, Veteran Smith, and thank you to Dr. Toa. Then I move to Mr. George Numo for his 2 questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Chief Dr. Toa. I'm going back to the technology, engineering, and mathematics issue. What are the fields of studies you have at the Grand Jude University currently? Besides the nursing program.
Well, thank you.
Yes.
Besides the nursing program, that is in fact one of the flagship programs of the university,
right?
Which is promising for many of the students for placement. We also have the science department, which emphasizes engineering, because Grand Jude mine. I don't want to say Pudu mine because we changed that very, very shortly. I'm back. No, I want to say this to all of you. Some of the best mines are back in Grand Jude, and the mountain is Jude Mountain, not Pudu Mountain, and we've straightened the records. So Jude mine will soon be opening, and we are back home. We want to make sure we train our people. So besides the flagship program of the health sciences, we have the science department with emphasis on engineering, so that we produce Grandians for immediate entry engineering courses, engineering expertise that can also metamorphose into through the mind, the Jude mind, into getting the master's or PhD.
Okay. A follow-up, which is not my second question. or when you say science program or engineering program, are you talking about civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, mining engineering? Do you people have those?
No, the emphasis right now is mining engineering because of GDEP mine.
Okay,
So go ahead.
Is it there currently?
Yes, in fact, it has always been there at the technical level, I mean at the social level. For that, we have metamorphosed to the bachelor level. So in the sciences area, the emphasis actually is mining engineering because we know we have the GDEP mountain.
Yeah.
And so, in fact, let me tell you this. The board has a seat reserved for the leading investment in Grand GDEP. We have a seat on the board on the Grand GDEP University. And we reserve one seat for the Grand GDEP mine to be on the board. So that exactly when it comes to human capital development, that major investment in the county will be on the board to help to champion human capital development into mining and other related services, other related professionals that support investment and manpower development in the county.
Okay, my second question. You want for your university to be the best in Liberia or maybe in West Africa, and your budget, I don't think your budget exceeds $1 million. And I was looking at University of Liberia budget, about $60 million, $50 to $60 million. Tuckmore University, $5 to $6 million. And your enrollment has not even reached 500 students. So, what are you doing? And if you have to improve your enrollment, and if you have the time, Putu Mountain or GDEP Mountain is going to be taken over by what's her name? Drew Mason Company. If you can comment on that, no, I will appreciate it. On the side, you can answer any of the two questions, the one you prefer.
So who am I speaking with now? I want to know the moderator.
George H. Numbo.
Okay, Mr. Nubo.
Yes.
That's a very good question. And let me take my time to respond to you. And I'm glad of the opportunity to speak to the larger world. Yes. And I want to say a very big thank you to you for this opportunity. Now, the entity that will take over Putu or GDEP Mountain,
right,
is not known as yet. So I cannot allude to the assertion that do Mason.
Okay.
The response is that the entity is not known yet. I'm on the ground.
Okay.
And I'm listening with everyone else. So that entity is not known yet. Negotiations are ongoing.
Okay.
That's one. That's one. The second thing is, yes, what we are doing now is a strategic engagement in anticipation as to when they put the GDEP Mount investment continues, that Grenadians are positioned to take out strategic positions in the mines, as opposed to when that happened 10 years or 15 years ago. So our involvement now is to make sure that we train people, we train Grenadians to take technical positions. Because when the first Putu mine started, most of the jobs they gave to Grenadians were gardener and security. when it comes to most of the technical jobs were taken over by other Liberians, which is not bad because they are still Liberians. But we still believe that if the mine, the Nimba, the mine in Nimba, it gives prominence to Nimba citizens. So why not Grand Gide? It's not being negative about that, because when the job possibility exists in an area, we try to give a quota to that area, which is not a negation to our national endeavor, because others are doing it. The Nimba mine, the bomb mines, the bombing mine, and all of that. And so in the case of Grand Gide, it's not bad. It's not a wrong thing at all. It's not being sectional. It's not being negative. It's not being subjectional. But it's the best, it's based on best practice in Liberia. And so, so what we are doing now as trainers, as educational, is to train our young people to prepare them in lieu of the mountain to start very soon, maybe the next 5 or 6 months, so that we can have graduates or near graduates, young people that can take on meaningful jobs in the county. And that's what we are committed to. And I, William Dia Dejan Towa, a man who has a twin approach from Chin and from Kunabo. And that's what I'm involved with.
You may not say you left the chief out, though.
Oh, yeah. Well, the chief is all is an entitlement that I earn. Well, let me add that. Chief Doctor William Dia Dejan Towa. Because I'm very careful. And if you don't, I'm a chief that I got problem with them. I took issue with somebody one time ago because I thought I earned it. So that might be honest. But thank you so much for bringing that up. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Nubo, and thanks to Dr. Towa, Chief Dr. Towa. Mr. Gay, are you there?
Yes, sir. I'm here. I'm here. Let me put my camera on. Yeah, I'm here.
Your 2 questions, sir.
So thank you, Chief Dr. Towa. Thank you for the fascinating conversation tonight. A lot of Grangidians are listening to us, across the globe.
You always say something. If I want to talk, you say no. Let me have my question. Let me ask you question.
I'm sorry.
Let me ask something of what you just said, because and you're right. A lot of Grangidians are following. And they are all in the comment section commenting about Chief Dr. Towa, his political ambitions. But I want to wait until either Ed will break down.
Yeah, we're talking about the political stuff right now. I'm so particular about all lifting, because in order for us to compete in this 21st century, we need to give our people the requisite tools to be able to compete, and that tool is education, right? So he mentioned the nursing program. Now, giving Matter Toppin challenges and deficiency that Matter Toppin Memorial Hospital has. Where do the university students go for clinical? Because after doing the theory in school, they must go to a medical practice to perform those things that they learn. So that clinical has to be done. Because for me, I'm a technical person. In IT, it's not what you learn from the book. You have to put it into practicality. It has to work. The computer has to talk to each other. The devices have to communicate. You got to speak that language, right? So I'm more practical. Where do our students go for clinical? Given the fact that Matter Toppin at Memorial Hospital is so challenging, they don't have the regulatory resources.
Well, thank you. Is it Mr. Gay?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm taking some of the technical questions tonight because the president of the university went off. But that's fine. He briefed me a lot. If I have hands on the university, I'm not one of those people that disconnect.
Chief Dr. Towa, are you sure that's not a setup for the president?
No, I don't want to think it's a setup. It's a technical glitch, I will believe. Because I think he's one of the brightest minds. And I want to say to all of Grand Gide and Liberia, the young man was carefully selected. There were other people that are highly competitive. But because Grand Gide is a tough terrain, we needed to recruit someone who has the zest to commute on a tough terrain. And that's how we selected him. And so I was not that, this man was not imposed on the county. He went through a competitive process. And so I believe in him. And I want to say this. I know you might have heard some of the political jargon from him, but for me, that doesn't matter. He's one of the best. Now, let me say this. The Grand Jide University is having its own clinical lab or clinical setup for practical experiences for its trainees in the Canaan region. Because you know the university is located in Canaan. Even though Palace Red Roof or in Galloville. Galloville is in Canaan.
Yeah, I know Galloville. I live in Red Roof, 88, 89, 1990 before I left. I know
Yeah.
Red Roof.
So Galloville is in Canaan. Now, also we have the Battle Tottenham Hospital, which will not be dismantled. And I believe will still be there as a health center. And then we have the referral or as a hospital. And then we have the referral, the bigger hospital. So we have the referral hospital, we have Battle Tottenham, and then we have the health clinic at the university to train its own, because we're going to have, in fact, everything has been set up. The clinic has been set up already. We invested a lot of money into that at the university, where the nurses students can practice. That I know, so I can speak to that. So when it comes to practical expertise, yeah, there are structure in place to do that. Either at the university itself, at the Mother Tottenham Health Post or Hospital, and at the Grand Jide or Samuel Doe Hospital, referral hospital. And so we have state-of-the-art experience for our trainees. And I can assure you that because I know it because we discuss it. Yeah.
All right, my last question would be, people are listening to you and they might have nephew and nieces and cousins that they want to encourage to go to the university. Outside of the nursing program and outside of the mining engineering course that you guys offer, what other discipline are available?
Well, we have a discipline in bachelor's in education. Going to train more teachers across the county and in the sub-region.
Sure.
And then we also have bachelors in business management. We need to create entrepreneurs to start their own businesses.
Okay.
And so those are the areas. Yeah, we have
Do you guys
other
have
training, other areas.
As well?
Oh yes, we also have agriculture. In fact, we have agriculture. We have agriculture and animal husbandry.
Yeah, that's fine. It falls under agriculture.
Yeah, agriculture. Yeah, but I just want, because there are two different branches of agriculture, anyways.
Sure. Absolutely.
Remember that
agriculture that deals directly with I agree with what you said. Okay, I just want to give people the opportunity.
Remember now, Gage, you are speaking to the former Minister of Agriculture.
Hey, listen, I'm not an agriculturist, and I'm not. That's not my area of discipline. My area of discipline is information technology.
So I'm speaking from my authority.
No problem, and I take the feedback with grace. But so the reason why I'm asking this question, people are listening. Does the school has a website?
Does the school has what?
A website.
The last information I got was I get a directive, and that is the school has a website, but I was not satisfied with that website because I'm from an international community.
Yeah.
So what I saw, I didn't like that. Yeah. What I saw, I didn't like that. So I told the president, look, you got to revive that.
Okay.
And they have been working on that. So let me reserve that question. We'll come back to you.
That's a very fair answer.
Mm.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gay. And I appreciate every question you ask. All of you. That would make us be better.
That's right. And we really appreciate you spending this much time with us. Chief Dr. Toa, how much time do you have with us now? Are you with us for the next hour or two?
Well, you choose the time. I don't have limitation when it comes to the issue of Liberia and Grand Jide.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Can we allow the callers to call in? Is it possible?
That's good. No, it's too late now. It's too late. Right
Oh,
now it's
okay.
about
Well,
what? 1
well,
12.
it's after 12 p.m. in Liberia. Yeah,
Yeah,
after 12 a.m. in Liberia. So
too
if
late.
callers can call, that's fine. I'm prepared to answer any question. As a matter of fact.
No, that's all you're gonna answer our
Can
question.
can
Yeah, I
can
don't think
can we
we
do?
have already
Can,
got institute.
no, but we can do it. We can do it with WhatsApp if we announce our
Yeah.
WhatsApp number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. What if people can come from the diaspora? I don't have a problem. I'm available, folks.
Yeah. So Dr. Tua, you will deal with the panelists here tonight.
Well, in Nigeria, say no wahala.
No wahala. Yeah, no wahala. There you go. So here's my question, Doc. I think you had given a good insight into the running of the university and the progress made so far. But I think we must now move into the area of challenges. I think we have not, as far as I'm concerned tonight, we have not dealt into the challenges too much. We are going to play on the periphery of that. So let's go into the challenges. So I always come back to the point you raised when you said the issue of the university lies with the board of trustees. That for me is a loaded statement, and it's a statement that carries a lot. And this is where I'll keep coming from tonight. So, talk to us about your faculty. I know you talk about the mission and some of the areas of studies that you guys are undertaking there, but talk to us about your faculty. Are you, as the board of trustees, satisfied with your faculty? And if so, do you think the current structure of your faculty can be able to move the university to where it's supposed to be? And if not, what needs to happen in order for you to achieve the level of achievement that you have set up to achieve?
Well, pardon me, because the name is so small, my eyes can ask you, is that Smith or is that Wright?
Right.
Right.
Okay, this is a very good question, right? No, the faculty from the community college does not meet the requirement of the faculty of the university. And so we had taught that the Nimba University, the Lufa University, and the Bassa University, Grand Juliet University will receive at least $1.5 to $2 million budget support. But sadly, Grand Juliet University got only little over $800,000, the same amount the college received or the university received when it was at the college level. That gives us a budget deficit of close to $1 million. And so when we have a university, it means that we need to have people to grant bachelor degree to be at a master's level, not have a bachelor teaching bachelors. And then one who has a bachelor should be, and we found them to be real good and committed, we should give them training facilities on the masters. If they're around, maybe studying online, then there should be TAs to CM professors. And so to be able to do that, we have a budget deficit of $1 million. And this is why the Grand Juliet University, unlike other universities who got full funding for the budget, for the national budget, we are compelled, and I emphasize, we are compelled to launch an initiative so that Grand Juliet University is not circumvented or is not sub to other university, because we have to produce knowledge at a competitive basis. And so this is why I approved the initiative by the president of the university to launch the $1 million drive. Because absolutely, there's no way that we can have an 800,000 that supported that even short supported a community college to now support a university. Now,
Mhm.
now, I do not want to blame the central government for that, because people who are from Grand Juda County in the legislature, where the budget went, they should have known better. But again, probably they did not understand the ingredients, what is required. Probably there are certain things that are required. But again, we'll get to the other aspect. But we are confronted with the reality. We have to deal with the reality. And I'm involved with dealing with solving problems. And we solve
As
this
a
problem.
board chair, why you didn't give the representative Coldwater?
Well, to be frank with you, I am from the international community, and
Okay.
I told the president of the university, make your budget and submit it. The president made a budget of $1.6 million, but the president received little over 800,000.
Yeah, I was just trying to make fun, put fun inside.
Yeah, no, I understand. This is why I didn't even go into that. I understand, but to tell you the truth, that's a reality, though.
Oh
Tell you
yeah,
the truth,
that's it.
that's a reality. Yeah, but again,
Yeah, but Dr. Todd, that brings me to my other question. The budget deficit. You mentioned $1 million. Now you're going outside. You're going outside the box, which is commendable, because you got to think outside the box to be able to solve problems. So the question is going to be in twofold. How are you doing on that end? The fundraising, is that coming on? Is that working in the way you want it to work? You guys are still lagging behind. Secondly, the issue of the budget deficit, does that rest solely on the shoulder of the elected representatives at the legislature, that they may have dropped the ball? We say in America, they have not pushed too hard to get the kind of funding that the university should get. What do you think that problem lies?
well, I think this is a very good question. This question has let me tell you the last question about the budget issue. It has two dimensions.
Actually making a mistake. He asking 3 questions. He's already asked 2 questions.
Well, I understand 2 questions, so I'll try to answer 2 questions.
2 questions.
I'll try to answer 2 questions.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I will take the question from the latter to the previous.
All right.
Yeah. So the latter question of what happened. Why is it that there was a budget deficit? Why is it that why is it Grand Juda not giving the right university not giving the budget it needs?
Right.
And I will approach that from 2 dimensions. Right now, when it comes to national priority setting at the cabinet level, Grand Juda is not represented. There is no cabinet minister from Grand Juda. When the cabinet meets to discuss national priorities, there's no Grand Judean. That's number 1.
Do you know any from the Southeast?
Grand Juda, not the Southeast. Southeast is a very big area. Grand Juda is a very...
No, any of the southeastern counties. Cabinet minister.
I don't know about that. I'm talking about Grand Juda. Grand Juda, not the Southeast. Every county is unique. And from President Talbot time, almost 50 years ago, Grand Juda has always had a member of the cabinet.
Okay.
Even during the heydays when the American Liberian ruled Liberia, the conservative stage, the 2 ministers from the indigenous standpoint, that was Jackson F. Doe from Nimba and Tro Pagai from Grand Juda. There were 2 indigenous ministers. Yes. So from Talbot time, Grand Juda had always had a representation at the cabinet level, where the strategic decisions were made about the national endeavor. But this time around, in the Boakai government, there's no Grand Judean at the high table of decision making, which I find very troubling. and I continue to emphasize, I find that very troubling. And I don't bite my tongue about that. Because we are discussing national agenda, a county that was high hit as a consequence of the war. And to have a table of a national development, you don't have Grand at the table. It's a disservice to the people of Grand County. And I am perturbed about that. I'm sorry for being emotional about it. I'm troubled with that. I'm troubled by that. Yeah, I'm troubled by that. Now, so that one aspect. The second aspect is, even when the budget, when the institutions in Grand Judea, including Grand Judea University, make the budget, and somehow at the table, Grand Judea is not captured, and the budget goes to the cabinet, goes to the legislature, where there are representation of Grand Judea. And I'm flabbergasted that that issue was that picked up at the legislature. That why is it Nimba University gets this, got this, Lufsan University got this, Grand Bassa University got it, and Grand University got limited when we have a full university. And nobody asked that question. I am troubled, to say the least, by that conclusion. And what I'm saying here is that I'm not going to be naked. I think President Boakai is a fine leader. I don't have any issue with him. But when it comes to this, why is it that we don't have a county representation? Why alone for the past almost 40 years? All counties are behind the table. Particularly, Grand Judea Nimba, of a high hit as a consequence of the war. Nimba is on the table. Why is it that Grand Judea is not on the table? I, William Diadeyantoa, a true son of Grand Judea, I am troubled, to say the least. I am troubled. And I don't sleep at night because of this. And that we have a university to run with just 800,000, little over 800,000, and we have a community college. So we are compelled. I have a problem with thought. And so that is after the fact. Those of the act, they acted, they didn't act, we didn't get anything, but the university was run. So I told the young man, look, let's launch a private initiative so Grand Judea University can perform to its true meaning, to provide quality education to that part of Liberia, and not a subset education. Because you see, one aspect of Grand Judea, one aspect of Liberia is not well served, Liberia is not served. You can have one area not being served, other areas are served, there's a disservice to our country. You cannot build a nation where you deject a portion of that country to negativity or underserved. Then you expect to have peace, harmony, and civility. What you are doing there is that you create an iceberg of negativity. And so, as a true Liberian, who came to the sector, I think let's carry all of Liberia together. I'm a true Liberian. I don't hate anyone. I love everybody. And let me use the video. During the crisis, there were some good Nimbaians that love Grand Judeans, that work with Grand Judeans. I know, like in Nimba, there are some hardliners, like in Grand Judea, that don't want to see that said Nimba were bad in from Grand Judea's perspective. And there were some hardliners Nimba that said Grand Judea were bad. But there are so many good Grand Judeans who love Nimbaians. And there are so many good Nimbaians that love Grand Judeans. And so that struggle continues. And so to have, and I want to believe that President Boakai does not have anything negative against the people of Grand Judea, because unlike Judge Weah, who the people of Grand Judea supported almost 90% that became president, he did not choose to bury Samuel Doe. But President Boakai, irrespective of advice for some of the poor people, he said, I'm going to bury Samuel Doe and Mrs. Doe. He did that. So I want to give a kudos to President Boakai, but I am also troubled that in his government, in the executive, when they meet at the national discussion of national priorities, there are no Grand Judean at the table. It's troubling. And I just want to flag that.
Thank you.
Mr. Nubu, you have 2 questions.
Okay. My first question.
You passed me, Mr. Red. Why are you doing that?
Yeah,
You
he
should have
passed
come to
over
me before
you. He passed over you because you want to ask 2 questions. You ask.
No, hold on. Let me get out my mistake. Let me go with the veteran Smith. Veteran Smith, you have 2 questions.
Instead of 2 questions, you ask 10 questions.
Look at Mr. Divo. He one of those. He gonna pass by me. So, Chief Doctor Toa, let me go to the $1 million fundraising that you are intending to do. What are some of the strategy? Because to come up with that amount of money, you have to have a strategy. I know you're having it in Monrovia. Will it be also continuing in Grand Jita in the diaspora? So tell us, because so many ways to come up with that $1 million. Why you're selecting Monrovia, and what would be other places that people who want to contribute can also do it? Tell me the strategies.
Well, thank you. I believe there's a Fred Smith.
Yes.
Well, thank you, Fred. Yeah, sure. We have a strategic plan. And the initial plan is to launch the $1 million drive in Monrovia. And strategically, we have contacted the Vice President of the Republic of Liberia. We have been able to inform him of the budget deficit and the need to make Grand Judea University relevant to its core mandate. And so if we don't have the funding, we'll be deceiving the population. And there's a need to raise the fund because the budget has passed. You cannot reverse the budget. And through the magnanimity of the Vice President, he has accepted to serve as a chief launcher of that event. So the event will take place in Monrovia. Let's see how we go towards the $1 million drive. When, depending on what we receive, if we hit the target 1 million, then the business is done. But if we fall short of the 1 million, then we'll look at Plan B. Plan B has to do with the diaspora, Grand Judeans and Liberians in the diaspora, to engage them. Maybe to have one of the fundraisers in one of the states in America. The Vice President and I had a brief talk about that, because you look at per capita Liberians in the U.S. Grand Judean on the basis per capita has the highest, well, presumably has the highest population in the Americas. And we intend to engage that population in the U.S. to be able to contribute towards the 1 million. And the 1 million drive is just a Plan B. Because if the government is funding other universities in other counties, why is it that Grand Judea University is underfunded? I just can't believe that this happened. But well, I'm the chairman now of the Board of Trustees. The budget has passed. The budget is law. We cannot go back to revisit the law. The law has been passed. And so we have to run the entity. So we have to run the entity through self-initiative. And that's what we are doing. And the next budget period, I'm on the ground. I will personally walk the corridor of powers at the legislature to make sure that if you give $2 million to Nimba University, and why not Grand Judea? You get $2 million to Lupa University, why not Grand Judea? You get $2 million to Grand Bassa University, why not Grand Judea? There must be equity across the board. There's no one area is sub-Liberian compared to the others. And I refuse to accept that. And I challenge anyone who will make that case. We can debate the matter. And I'm prepared to debate that matter. And so I stand ready for that discussion. Anywhere, any place. But I'm annoyed about that. When I begin to talk about it, I get emotionally charged about it. But here where we are, we'll continue to do what we can do to make sure until the time comes again. So thank you, gentlemen.
My last question will center around issue confronted in Grand Judea, how the university can be of help in bringing resolution of major problems that happen in Grand Judea. That maybe you can have a symposium, can have other things on the campus to deal with those issues. Violence against women, other challenges like the cow coming into the city, land issue. How can the university be very useful that they can come on the campus? Maybe they call a veteran, and we have like a town hall meeting on campus and bring all the stakeholders and find common solution to the problem, whether it's women, men, or any other issue.
Well, thank you, Smith. You know, the University of Grand Judea, like any other universities around the country, becomes the center of excellence, research, and intellectual exchanges. And so Grand Judea University will continue to be a center of research and intellectual excellence in Grand Judea. But there are certain areas that require administrative oversight and administrative actions. For example, the issue of cows remain the street of Zwedru. That does not require research and research review. It requires administrative oversight and administrative action. Provide a land to the cows owners. We are happy because Grangidians are people that love happiness, that love fun, they love kill cows. So when people bring their cows to graze in Grand Judea, give them a piece of land. Even help them provide a cat or a caterpillar to clear the land for them, plant, and help them to plant the vegetation that they need and fence the place. So that the cows will always be there. So when Grand Judean can't, because there's one senator who let her kill cows. When it comes to killing people cows, at least you can go there and buy a cow to kill cows. You know, because that he's tough. You see that he's tough, that his strategy to kill cows. So when you want to kill 2, 3, or 4, or 5, 10 cows, you can go there and get cows. Or can I have the cow roaming the streets in Zwedru? That you cannot find that in an embodied state. Even America that produce part of the leading beef in the world, you don't find cow in the street of America where you live. They are on the farm. So we can do the same thing in Grand Judea. So that does not require research by the university and all of that. But there are certain areas that require research, policy advice, and guidance. And those areas that has to do with governance, that has to do with budget execution, because the budgeting and budget execution in Grand Judea is another area that is so troubling, because already Grand Judea is the lowest ebb of budget support. And so the little money that gets into the budget, the way that money is expended, even subventions for corporations that are operating or entities that are operating in Grand Judea, the money may be available into the budget, they would expend it. It's troubling. And I want to challenge you tonight, Mr. Smith. You continue to provide back to differ in Grand Judea. Maybe you need to ask some of your people. We have labor, LRB Energy in Grand Judea. LRB Energy provide or supervise electricity or manage electricity in Grand Judea. Electricity reached Grand Judea for the past 12 years. But many parts of Zwedru does not have electricity. People who have electricity, they have to buy their own transformers, buy their own wires, sometimes buy their own poles. So what are the requirements of the LRB Energy? What is in the contract? What are they required? What are they supposed to do? So what I'm saying here now is that people themselves finance to have electricity. Immediately as soon as they put the first bulb on, to put the first bulb, they have to pay. Before they put the first bulb on into the houses. And so what is the requirement of LRB Energy? What are they supposed to do for the people? What are the requirements? What are they supposed to do? What is the contract? What is in the contract? So I want you, maybe you got a contract, maybe share with your colleagues tonight. But I've been asking for the past two months now, where is the contract of LRB Energy in Grand Judea? Like in Nimba, Floyd, he asked for to get a contract. They have with people at Nimba. What are you supposed to do? But in Grand Judea, LRB is the one guy living in Cote d'Ivoire. He comes to Grand Judea, he has a company there. He has 1 or 2 people there in the office. And then no current goes anywhere. People buy their own infrastructures. They create their own architecture. Then before they put the first bulb, and they got to pay. So what are their responsibilities?
Okay, maybe
yeah. I challenge you to inquire about that.
Maybe I can interrupt.
What I'm saying here,
we have Mr. Hush on the show here, who is responsible for the LRB Energy. Hush lives in Harper. and we got him on the show before, and we wanted him to reappear, and he has not reappeared. Maybe, when we get the day we get him back, maybe both of you can appear.
I shall be very grateful, Mr. Smith. If you get him, put me on.
Mr. Numbo.
Oh, Mr. Numbo.
Yes.
Yeah, please, when you get him, let me know so I can be on. Let's discuss it.
Okay.
Because let me not prejudge him tonight, but when you get him, let's discuss.
Yes.
I'm from a Godset.
We're gonna work
I'm
on
from
that.
a Godset where people buy their own pole, buy their own transformer, buy their own wires, and for them to put a first light bulb on, they have to pay. So what is the responsibility of that company? I need to know. It's troubling for the people of Grand Judea. People are already impoverished. They impoverish them more. That is unacceptable for me. Not about me. I can fool myself. But what about the downtrodden Grand Judea? So I'm speaking about it for those people.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Toa, and thank you, Veteran Smith. Mr. Numbo, your 2 questions. And
Okay.
we'll be Dr. Toa Ali. We'll get the next 20 minutes to spend, and then we'll just call it.
Mr. Numoto, one of my questions. So
No, Fred, you are out. Okay. Chief Dr. Toa, Senior. Do you remember these names? Drew Mason, former diplomat.
You forgot the chief. Why you put the chief there? You asked the question.
You are not listening. ECB Jones, ex-deputy minister of mines. Nanny B. Davis, transparency advocate. Do you remember these names? And do you know that these names are associated with, how they call it? IOGALOC team that will take over the Putu Mountain or Grand Judea Mountain?
Well, thank you. Thank you. Is this Mr. Smith speaking?
This is George Numbo.
Oh, George Numbo. Okay, yeah. Mr. Numbo.
The
yes, absolutely. Absolutely, I know ECB Jones.
Okay.
He's somebody he knows me very well.
Okay, Nanny B. Davis.
I also know Doom Missing. Doom knows me very well.
Nanny B. Davis.
I know Nanny B. Davis. Nanny B. knows me very well.
Those are the two that take over the so-called Mountain.
Yeah, Mr. Numbo, allow Mr. Toa to talk.
Okay.
We both serve in the cabinet. They all know me. But what I don't know is that their involvement with what I would term as the Judea Mountain, because that name Putu Mountain is a disservice to Grand Judea.
Right.
Somebody did it deliberately to water down the importance of that mountain to the southeastern region, yes, to negate it to one region, one subset of Grand Judea, because they want to they don't want to evoke that national deity of the Grand Judea existence. But we will revisit that. And some of us are back in the country. I'm back in the country. We'll set the record straight. And I'll begin to work on that. I've already started. It's going to be a Judea Mountain, not Putu Mountain. It's Judea Mountain. In fact, Judea Mountain, as far as our Easterners are concerned, they're where our deity started from. Our gods settled. Where all of us go to pay homage to the Kui, and then to the Budio in the Judea Mountain. And I'm speaking now as a true son of the southeastern region. Maybe you guys will now understand. You guys will now understand that. But somebody from River
I don't understand it. Thank you. I questioned Archie several times. I said, people used to leave from Maryland and go to worship the Judea Mountain. And where the Putu Mountain come from?
Yeah, right.
He will tell you. Okay, let's move on. The budget bureau or the finance ministry, you prepare your budget. Let's say, academic institution. They prepare their budget. They send the budget there. They put books in the budget. Finance ministry will say no budget line. They put equipment in the budget. Technology equipment. They'll say no budget line. I mean, I went there, on several occasions to defend the GAC budget. So I know what they're doing. And even with Tubman University, I met with the first president of the university. And when I got there, she thought I was auditor. I said, but I'm here. I'm graduate of this school here. And we had a discussion, and they had budgetary issues. I said, well, what happened to the senators and representatives from here? And in a sense, she said they want to co-water. So how can Grand Gate University come out and say our people here who's already be promoting us, it look like they want to go through a co-water? So we are not growing. That's my question, George Numo. That's my only question.
Well, George, thank you. Thank you, my brother. Unfortunately, for the past 14 years, I've been with ECOWAS.
Mm-hmm.
And with ECOWAS, I've been Chief of Finance and Administration. I control ECOWAS budget, and I've been audited for the past 14 years. Every year I'm audited.
Right.
Every year I'm audited, I came up with flying colors. Now, I have told the president of the University of Grand Gate, or Grand Gate University, that what you described, if it ever happened, I don't want to hear it, and I pretend that I don't even know about it. But that he needs to run the institution and give account for every penny. That was my instruction. So if anybody ever went to him and said, I want co-water, I'll do this, you surrender this, that is at his own peril. The university will be audited. I mean, that's it. I don't bite my tongue about it. I work in all the institutions. I'm not a money man. I'm not wealthy, but I think I have what it takes to survive, and I'll come back home. I want to submit my next 8 to 10 years for 3 schools and 10 are required by the Bible to give back to our country and to Liberia. And that's what I would do.
You live more than that.
Okay.
Thank you. No problem.
Yes. So in the last 10 minutes that we have, Chief Dr. Toa, I only have one question for you.
Okay.
Are you contesting for elected position?
Well, actually, I've chosen not to discuss that on this platform tonight.
Okay.
But the platform is dedicated to the University of Grand Gate. But
okay.
Please, I'm available to discuss. No, wait a minute, please. Please wait a minute. I'm available to discuss the political dimensions anytime. I can give you even 5 hours, 10 hours to discuss. Okay. But tonight, I don't want to talk anything concerning I'm running or not running tonight. Please, I just want to beg your pardon.
No, I understand. The reason I asked is because your supporter in the comment section are loading the place with comments. So
yeah,
I wanted to make sure. But yes.
Thank you, Mr.
Say, when you do leadership, be careful to support. Gonna do this.
It's all right. You already asked your question. Let's go to Mr. Smith.
Okay, are you taking the wheels from me, or what you want to do?
I have you in court.
Hold on,
I mean,
Mr. Nubo.
No. It could. You have to rephrase your question.
Hold on, Mr. Nubo. Hold on.
Archie.
We got 9 meetings with Chief Dr.
Okay, but Archie, you have to rephrase. You have to rephrase your question. You don't second emotion.
Mr. Veteran Smith.
Say if you will contest.
Mr. Nubo, if you would just allow me to ask Veteran Smith a question, and you come here as a
okay. Veteran Smith is sleeping.
Veteran Smith, what's your one question? So go around now, ask Dr. Towa to give us his parting comment.
Yeah, my question, and thank you very much for being part of this. This is the first time we have broken the Guinness Book of Record for a guest willingly want to stay as long as we ask questions. More guests will want to leave. So thank you. Thank you, Chief Dr. Towa, for accepting our invitation. I just got a message from the president, a text message, that the network is very bad tonight. So I have invited him to be on the state podium, which I moderate on Thursday morning, to carry on for the morning people who would also like to hear from him. If you would like to be part of that morning show too, I extend it to you, so we can do both evening and morning, so they can be involved in higher education and to support your dream. I just wanted to share that.
I mean,
so
I'm confused. Are you talking about President Boakai or President Trump?
Oh no, President Boto.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, well, the internet was bad tonight. He couldn't be on, but so I invited him the state podium Thursday morning. And so Chief Dr. Towa, if you want to be on with him on Thursday, maybe around 10 a.m. so the morning people can have the same feeding that the evening people had. I bet to differ. So if you want to join us, I think you joined us the last time, and so you can do that on Thursday morning. My question, my last question. You wanted to say something before I ask my last question?
Yeah, but before I ask a question, when I ask a question,
okay. My question, and usually I always do it. Is there anything that you would have loved for us to ask you, and we never asked you, that you think would be beneficial to the people of Liberia and to the people of Grand Jeda County? This is your opportunity to take your own question and answer it, and what the veteran couldn't ask. Can you ask your own question and answer your own question? That would be my question to you.
Well, thank you, Mr. Fred Smith. I would have loved to be asked a question tonight as a Liberian professional, as chairman of the board of trustees of the Grand Jeda University, as an illustrious son of Liberia and Grand Jeda. What do you find as a competitive advantage for Grand Jeda compared to other counties in Liberia? And how can you harness that? I didn't see that question coming out. And let me say this in response to that question, if I were to be asked. Every county in Liberia has a competitive advantage. If you went to Nimba, Nimba has the Nimba Mountain with all of its resources and the entrepreneurial spirit of Nimba. They have it. When you go to Lofa, you have the flat land of Lofa and the non-forest land that is good for rice production in Lofa. If you go to Bong, the same could apply to Bong. So when you come to Grand Jeda, what competitive advantage does Grand Jeda have that other counties don't have, that need to be tapped? And so they're where I want to come in tonight. And I think there are two or three dimensions. Let me just be 3 dimensions. Number 1, Grand Jeda competitive advantage to Cote d'Ivoire as a consequence of the devastating war, which in turn has a positive dimension. Because many of the young people that went to Cote d'Ivoire, they went to school. They came back to Liberia are bilingual. How do we champion that? So Grand Guinea become the French-speaking base or French-speaking county for Liberia, region for Liberia, that will preserve that advantage for Grand Guinea, so that any Liberian man or woman or family who want their children to become bilingual, they can send their children to Grand Guinea to go to school. I didn't see that coming out, even though I tried to present that. The third thing is that when it comes to competitive advantage, beyond this, what other things are in Grand Guinea that are in other counties that can be champion for Grand Guinea counties that will make Grand Guinea competitive? So that many people want to come to Grand Guinea, that even those of you in the diaspora, who are other Liberians, will want to say, look, I'm going to Grand Guinea to be a citizen of Grand Guinea, because it is your right. A fellow Liberian, irrespective of which county you come from, you have a right to settle and make a life in any part of Liberia, including Grand Guinea. So what does Grand Guinea has that will compete, that will convince you to come to Grand Guinea? Now I think we should tease that out. But I'll reserve that next time we meet, and we can harness that, and I'm prepared to discuss that. Now, coming to the question you asked, whether or now will be available on Thursday, of course. Anything that has to do with addressing the budget deficit of the Grand Guinea University, even tonight, it's after 12 midnight, you're going to 1 o'clock a.m. I'm still up discussing with you. I'm still at my best. I'll be in now going to almost 2 hours. I'm available, I'm still alert, discussing with you. So when it comes, I purposely resigned, or I purposely did early retirement from ECOWAS, so that the next 10 years of my life, I can make Liberia a better place than I made it, that we can leave with our children and our children's children. And so, distinguished gentlemen, I salute you all tonight. I'm available at any time. Just let me know. We can discuss.
You named 3, but you jumped from 1 to 3. You left the second. What was the second?
I gotta say this: the weather here is very bad on my end.
Oh,
And yeah, my kids are running around. The tornado is really firing over, so I gotta drop off. I can't be here. Chief Dr. Toa, I look forward to connecting with you again another time, sir.
Well, thank you, right?
I get an opportunity to ask question.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I just want to be in the back. That's all. I'm not.
Okay. Chief Dr. Toa. I'm George Numbo again.
Yeah, Mr. Numbo, it's a pleasure.
And for telling Archie to rephrase his question before I get to my own question. If you were to run in Grand Guinea County, what position you would run for?
Let me provide a hypothetical response to the hypothetical question until I can decide to address the question.
Okay.
I were to run for a position in Grand Guinea. See, we're discussing the university tonight. I don't want to politicize it. I will run for the post of a senator, not representative. Because the senator worked with the president or with the executive to set the benchmark, provide oversight, and make laws.
Okay.
And I think I'll be more effective to championing the cause of Grand Guinea as a county, as a region devastated as a result of the war, to bring it to the center stage.
Okay. Chief Dr. Eloquent Toa. My question number 2.
You giving him another title, Mr. Numbo?
No, yeah, it's going to be there. Next time you appear, I'm the troublemaker on the show. You don't put Eloquent there, no Chief Dr. Eloquent Toa, no, I will get mad at you. Hey.
Thank you, Mr. Nebo.
I told them the other day, I said, when I put H, my initial H here, when I put it in the middle of my name, it means I'm ready for trouble.
Honorable Judge H. Nebo.
Okay. You talk about the French. You talk about Grand Guinea having a competitive edge. I believe that. Are you aware of the conflict caused by the Burkinabes? And is there a French professor that we have at the Tokma University, at the Grand Guinea University? We have French professor. We have Grable professor at the Tokma University, and you want to be the number one in Liberia without even budgetary allotment. So please respond to that. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you. I'm not aware that we have a French instructor at the University of Grand Guinea, because actually French is not a course being taught at the university.
Right.
But again, because the budget is being underfunded, there are things we cannot do. And I think French, I tried to impact the Grand Guinea education sector, but for some reason, nobody is taking my advice. I've been seeking the advice since I joined ECOWAS 14 years ago. That because as a result of the war, many people are returning home from the Côte d'Ivoire. They already are fluent in French.
Yes.
Why don't we have all the high schools, most of the professors, most of the instructors there, they speak French? And some of the young people I told to Nigeria to go to school, they speak French. To get a master's, they speak French. So why don't we harness French? But nobody picked it up. But now I am the chairman of the board of trustees for the Grand Guinea University. We don't have a French department there because the budget is so small, we cannot create things we want to create. So our partnership with the French embassy ultimately may result to some agreement that will fund, because the French people are very proud of the language. Yes. So let's see that maybe we can fund that aspect so that we can have a French department, or we have a French language studies in Grand Guinea that they can fund, because Grand Guinea is not lacking French language. You just need to harness that and provide a funding. Yeah, and so be it. That will explode. Now, there was a question about the Burkinabes. I don't know whether you asked that question or you say in passing or somebody say it. But I asked it. Okay. Now, the Burkinabes in Liberia, let me say this to you sadly, and I'm not that I favor foreigners over Liberia, but if you have close to 100,000 Burkinabes in Grand Guinea, and right now I understand some of them are having children with our daughters. Those people are not going back. And so what is the strategic intervention to address that situation so we don't have a spillover that will be going to crisis? In my view, in my lifetime, I sleep 4 hours. When I leave you 2 o'clock tonight, I'll be up at 5 o'clock a.m. The maximum time I sleep 4 hours, sometimes 3 hours. I'm trained to think. And for the rest of my life, that's how I'm going to be until the Lord can call me. And so the Burkinabes are here to stay with us. So how do we deal with the emerging situation? People put the Burkinabe, they put in the bushes. In fact, the township does not even know that some people have brought Burkinabes in the bushes. They don't even know. So I've been liaising with some of the legislators, senators, and representatives, and I proposed some ideas, which some I agree with. We have the Grand Guinea legal team. I would call them the Grand Guinea Bar Association. I would call CANIO. We need to develop simple contracts. They're not too complicated to understand, so that so that the town chiefs, the paramount chief, client chief, town chief, and quarter chiefs can have meeting to educate our people, so that the contract can be shared with them. Anyone who brings a Burkinabe to work for him, whether it's going to be 60%, 40% of the farm produce. Those things can be reduced. The contract sign, the town chief sign, the clan chief sign, the paramount chief sign, the county explainer sign, and this archive. The reason here is today, the people who are coming today, Burkinabe, may no longer be alive. Even the very Burkinabe that are coming today, they may not be alive the next maybe 30, 25, 30 or 40 years from now.
Right.
Then what become of the establishment that they brought all the people? So the contract now will provide the way forward into addressing any claims from anyone that the agreement reached with their people was the produce, not the land. And if they want to live, well, that can be another thing to get them maybe a parcel of land for them to live on, but not to claim the land that has the property.
Right.
So it's important. So it's important. We have to start thinking about this. And so these are I'm thinking about. I began to flag it to some of the legislator. Coming back home to do the early retirement, even though I have other ambition, other places, but before that time comes, there are things we need to do. And so these are things I'm very occupied with, so that we can try to make this world a better place than we made it before we can leave it for our children, our children's children.
Thank you very much. Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
Maybe Chief Doctor. Anyway, let me stop it right there. Let Chief Doctor make a closing statement.
Yeah, closing statement. That's why I wanted to do it. Yeah. Mr. Nemo, you have energy tonight. Usually you will want to go home. So that means you enjoy our special guest.
Oh, no. I mean, I enjoyed it. I mean, from the get-go, I felt like, even I was a bad dude. But here, myself, we are on the same page.
Mr. Nim, to tell the truth, I respect you as I respect Mr. Smith. You are doing justice to Nigeria, and you are doing justice to Liberia. Now I salute you.
Thank you.
Given my age, the next 10 years, and I applaud you when you say you live longer than that. And I claim it. But I just want to go to the biblical deity, a man living for 3 years, which is 70 years old. I know by the grace of God, I'll go beyond that. But I'm 62 now, and if I can contribute, if I can finally say that I've retired the next 9 years to make our country one of the best in this world, to make it a better place, then I met it. Before I can leave, I'll be honored. Now, my parting statement, let me say a very big thank you to Mr. Nebo and Mr. Smith and Mr. Wright and all the people that were on before that dropped off. It is a pleasure. And this opportunity don't come so easily. It comes once a while. And I'm honored that I'm giving this opportunity to speak to Liberian, Rangidian, and the people of Zwedru. I am honored. This is why I have come back home as a patriotic Liberian, an ordinary Liberian, a Rangidian, a son of the soil, to try to help, to make institutions better, to make our country better, and our country better, so that we will leave these shows. Our children, we inherit a country, well, first a county, and then a country that they can be proud of. And so I want to say to all of you tonight, you have played your part, and I've also played my part. Let us continue on this drive, so that tomorrow nobody will say that we did not provide the education they need, so that they say that, well, we're blinded because our people are not educated, they did not provide the means. And they say that it will be unjust to us because we are doing everything possible to prepare them, and that the decision is theirs. So I want to say a very big thank you to all of you. And far more than that, there are so many people that they call. I spent 14 years in Nigeria. Called 419. All they know is to just to play games. Some saw here and there what they can get. They're not true patriots. They're not lovers of the country. But we can distinguish them, and then we can tell our people to make some sound decisions. That's our responsibility. I want to say a very big thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Chief Dr. William Toa, for coming, Chairman of the Board Trustee of the Grand Jide University, striving to take our university to another level of diplomacy and partnership working together can be something.
I call that educational diplomacy.
You call that what?
Educational diplomacy.
Oh, I love that word. Educational diplomacy. Oh, well, but guess what now? If it become educational diplomacy, will we get a department or course at Grand Jide for us to learn that? And if we learn it, how it can be useful to us? Educational diplomacy.
Well, let's see how engagement goes. It will be a new dimension into the educational sector. Education is diverse and it's proactive. So possibly we can get into that.
Okay, next time in the future we'll talk about that. If you come on Thursday, we'll get deep into that. Also, we'd like to thank Dr. Eri Z.M. Boto. I know he monitoring us. He would love to be with us tonight and continue to be with us tonight, but the bad connectivity, network connectivity in Zedru or Grand Jide not too good. In fact, our station is now operating Top FM 105.3. So we've been people who have been on the Facebook or YouTube. I know you have been really enjoying this program, but there will come a time that you will engage our guests, ask questions. Tonight you are not part of it, but I know you enjoy what you heard from both Dr. Eri and Boto, president of the Grand Jide University. During a short time he was with us due to bad network connectivity. Otherwise, he would have been with us most of the time. As Chief Dr. William Toa said, he liked to be in the background. He have the president of the university to talk, but it's good to have a chairman of the board trustee. When the president not available, he can be there to build the president up, and he did that excellent job tonight. And I know the president will be happy for you. So Thursday, we'll have both of y'all on the state podium. So Mr. Numo, it's also an invitation for you. You haven't been back to the state podium, so you're welcome as a panelist on Thursday if you can.
Okay, thank
so
you.
This I will conclude. Thank all the callers for calling. Now they couldn't call now, but for listening to all, watching. Mr. Nimo, what are you saying?
I said to those who post their comments.
Okay. And I know if you look at it, Mr. Chief Dr. Toa, this will be our highest rating show because the length of time we stay on and had people love education, and now we have added educational diplomacy or as part of it. People learn a lot of things tonight that they were, So I know if we take the rating for tomorrow, what happened tonight, I know it will be high up.
Thank you.
Especially Mr. Numo being with Himo diplomacy. That was something new we got for him tonight.
Okay, and people that accuse right running away.
No, he have family to take.
All
So,
right, gentlemen.
thank you, Chief Doctor. It's time for you to part. We have something called hot fire. We don't want you to be part of the hot fire. It's just among us.
Thank you, and good night.
So, thank you very much.
All right.
So, Mr. Nimo, you eating? Why? The questioning made you hungry?
Yeah, it made me hungry. And people that actually right disappearing.
Got a man got to eat like you, man.
I get a 2 year, but you can't come.
Oh, you left my own Pambana and Gesawali?
The Pambana here, no Gasawali here. The Pambana.
Oh, I thought you said you're missing it. That was scaring me, man.
I Pambana here.
So you did Pambana, but not Pambana and Gesawali?
No, not Pambana Gasawali. Maybe next week.
Oh, so I'm gonna wait until you do all two?
No, you gotta send me communication.
Yeah?
You gotta send me communication that you coming.
Oh, so I'm not in the one?
No, you're not in the park.
Why? so you took me from there?
Because you didn't call me.
But so I mean you were completed your one. If my name was part of A, it's still part of A.
Yeah, I will do it. I'll complete my one though.
Oh, you were just eating your one?
I said I have people all around.
To help you?
When I cook jollof rice, my daughter
happened?
All her friends
Mm-hmm.
who telling her why your podcast said the jollof rice.
Oh. So that's your specialty, jollof rice, Liberian jollof rice?
No, that is the one my daughter enjoyed.
Oh. What is the ingredient? What is the ingredient?
I won't tell you the ingredients. Because
but you think I will enjoy it?
You're the laboratory people are not created.
Oh, wait.
The main ingredient is kettle.
In the jollof rice?
Yes.
You put kettle in pan. You put kettle in pan butter. You put kettle in pan butter and gesawali, and you put kettle in jollof rice.
Yes. And the Americans enjoy it.
What? Give you more appetite. But then, if I eat the first one, you see me there all the time.
Even today, even though yesterday I cooked, no, day before yesterday I cooked pan butter.
When you cook or your wife usually cook? Who does the cooking?
Most of the time I do the cooking.
So she prefer you cooking or you prefer her cooking?
There's the woman who used to drive me out of the kitchen in Monrovia.
And now you telling her off.
And now when she comes from where she asks me why you cook.
Oh, the one who used to drive you from the kitchen?
Yeah.
And she asking you where you cook?
For me, I yell.
Pretty soon you'll open your restaurant.
My daughter friend say I should open a restaurant, or I said, no, I'm not in that business.
You're not in that business. Let me ask you a question because I can evaluate people who are good cooks. How do you prepare your food?
What do you mean?
It's a question. What the process of, and then I would know you're a good cook because it seems like people who prepare the food this way, they are gifted in the preparation.
Okay.
Because with all the preparation, you won't have a good taste of the food. So
Okay.
how do you prepare your food?
I season my food.
Yeah, but take us through the stages.
What you say?
Take me
You
through
season
the
the
stages.
food. You
In terms of the time. I'm looking at the time factor when you do it, how you do it.
That American crap.
No. Asking your question.
That's Liberian thing.
You ain't got nothing to do with Liberia.
I season the food.
It's all that great.
And in Liberia we say parboil. I mean, I boil it, do this and that. I don't think American people call it parboil. And then from there, I go ahead and do the cooking. I mean, for everything.
Wait, do you do all of that on the same day?
Most of the time, I do it on the same day.
Okay. Now, how about I differ? I
Most
bet
of
to
the
differ.
time, I do it on the same day. Some of the time, I don't do it on the same day.
Okay, so how do when you say you do it on the same day, take us through the whole process if you don't do it on the same day?
I season the stuff, I keep it overnight.
Okay, that's the key where I was looking. My sister,
you know how to cook better than me,
my sister. No, I can't cook. But my sister, just what you just said, that's what she does.
Yes.
Season it and put in the S-bar and she cook in the morning. If she can't go through that process, she would never cook. So she put all the seasoning, put in the S-bar to dissolve. Early in the morning, she cook. So that's the remedy I was talking about.
The Maryland organization came here.
Yeah.
They were in Philadelphia. And Dr. Lamte called me. Say, Mr. Numa, we're coming to your place. I said, for what? Say one fufu and soup. And I sensed it. I was at a grocery store, at the African store when she called.
Yeah.
So I said, but Dr. Lamte, you called earlier, you said you wanted palm butter. So they wanted toboggi because my wife is from Lofa.
Yeah.
And my wife prepared the toboggi. And then they said they wanted how they call it, fufu and soup. And I said, no, well, Dr. Lamte is too late, but I will get everything because I'm in an African store. I will season everything. And when you come, you'll cook the fufu and soup.
Yeah.
And that what we did. I said, you're all the liquor you want, you will meet it there. even Alimo Bakers. Alimo Bakers were here from Ghana. Yeah, because Dr. Lamte husband is from Ghana. So I mean, I'm not saying that I'm the best cook, but I feel that I try my best. And I keep right there, who do not even know how to cook pepper soup. He turned his video off. Actually,
how you know the man can cook?
I know the man cannot cook pepper soup.
Or what he can cook?
Call Archie tomorrow. He ran away. Call him tomorrow and ask him, how do you cook pepper soup?
He will not know how to do it.
He will not know how to do it.
But what can he cook?
Nothing. Maybe maybe tea or coffee. He made coffee. That's all he know how to do.
Whoa.
Yeah. Some of the Liberian people know the damage for good. And one of them Archie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you ate today, Elo, you get a lot of energy.
Palm butter.
What? Pamela gave you energy?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Palm butter give me energy. Yeah. What gave you energy?
Cassava leaf.
Oh, cassava leaf.
They say cassava leaf not for good alone.
Well,
Yeah?
no, it doesn't give me energy.
Yeah. So, okay, what is in palm butter that gave you the extra energy? Things that you put in the palm butter, things that you put in cassava leaf. And if you compare and contrast, what is missing in the cassava leaf that is in the palm butter?
The vitamin, the this and that, no, everything is in the palm butter. Everything is in the palm butter. But anyway, maybe I need to go upstairs and rejoin.
Rejoin what?
Rejoin the discussion because my daughter has to come and do her homework.
Oh, we can call it a day now?
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
call
you.
it a day.
Okay.
And then we'll do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay.